Duchess. Hang on a minute while I get your bag out. I said hang on. Do as you're told. I'm giving the orders. Now, you're not entering for the Olympics, you know, not this week. Have you got your key? Right. Hospitals are all very well and necessary, but there's no place like home, eh?
Oh, stop nattering on the blooming door, will you?
You are feeling better, aren't you? Where do you want this? In your bedroom?
Yes, that'll do.
Oi! What do you think you're doing?
I'm making a cup of tea if it's all right.
What's that?
A chair, what do you think it is?
Well, go and sit in it. I didn't slave to get my butler's diploma to have you doing me out of a job.
And where did you learn to be bossy?
From you, Duchess.
Feel all right in myself, it's just my legs that feel a bit weak.
Yeah, it's being stuck in bed. This time next week you'll be doing the Gay Gordons. Now, is it just a cup of tea or do you want something to eat as well?
Oh, no, just a cup of tea and a digestive will do very nicely.
Right, then may I suggest a little lie down?
Oh, well, you carry on if you're feeling tired.
There's not much wrong with you, is there?
Well, but I've been telling you all morning.
Still, take it easy, eh? At least for a bit.
You're not a bad lad, are you?
Bit soft in the head, sometimes. Especially at school. I did go to school, you know.
Oh, education isn't everything. Look at Winston Churchill, he was never out of his class any road.
Lacks application, that's what they used to put on my report. That and sarky comments about how many times I'd been absent. Still, they were right though, weren't they? I mean, if I'd have had any application, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Which means you would have made money.
Well, that's what it's about, isn't it? All the mates I knew at school have all got their own house, car, wife, kids, the lot. Me? Nothing. Still, that's me, Duchess. Born of nothing, living of nothing. I'm more than likely die of nothing and all.
You may be short on the material things of this life, Eddie Yates, but you're not lacking in heart.
Smells good. I said that smells good.
Glad you think so.
Still at it, are we?
What have I said?
You know what the hell I'm talking about. Me coming home with you with a face like a fiddle.
Didn't expect hugs and kisses, did you? You behaved like a pig last night.
Still at it, are we?
You didn't think I'd just forget, did you?
No chance.
Look, Len, I don't go looking for trouble round every corner. That's not my style, and life's too short. But your behaviour last night disgusted me. It's not something I can forgive easily.
I suppose I'm not entitled to a point of view.
You could have talked it over with me quietly, not in front of Terry. And there was no need to go chucking him out in the street the way you did.
I tried talking it over with you all flaming day, and where did it get me? You still did exactly as you wanted.
Oh, so if you'd done what you wanted, it'd been all right.
There's no way that kid could have stopped here. No way. What surprises me is you thought he ever could.
I made the mistake of thinking you had a bit of charity in you.
We've only been married a couple of months, and you want to bring in a stray kid. Harry Bates's kid.
Is that his fault?
Harry Bates is the fella you lived with.
A long, long time ago.
Rita, I may not be the most sensitive fella in the world, but I have got me feelings, you know. I mean, you're not stupid. I don't have to spell it out to you.
So because I had a bit of a thing with the kid's father...
But if you lived with him as his wife...
You never warned me you'd chuck me past up in my face every time I did something you didn't like.
Not. But this is different. It's just not on.
I only asked you to give the kid a bed for a few nights till he found his feet.
Not that kid.
Oh, we're going round in circles. I'm sick up to here with it.
It's one thing we're agreed on anyway.
Where you going?
Pub.
What about your dinner? Which part of the world are you from, then?
Oh, nowhere you'd know.
You name it, I'll know it. I'm a much-travelled lady. Bacup, Accrington, Oswald Twistle.
Shall we tell her?
Yeah.
You've heard of the Invaders?
You're never a pop group.
No, from outer space. You know, the Invaders from outer space.
Oh, that.
It's not just on telly, you know. Right, Eric?
Right.
It's real, it's here, it's happening now. Take me to your leader.
I am the leader here.
Oh, no, you're not. I am while the landlady's away. And I'd be very obliged, lovey, if you do a little less chatting and a bit more serving, right?
We're very good friends, really.
Are you married?
No. Are you?
No.
Liar.
Am I married, Eddie?
No.
Does he ever say more than just one word?
No.
Anyway, what do you want to know if I'm married for?
Oh, for me dossier.
You are?
Me dossier. I always do a dossier on good-looking barmaids. Comes in very handy.
I'll bet.
Next question.
For your dossier.
Ah, that's right, for me dossier. Next question. When's your night off?
Tonight?
Oh, that's encouraging. Don't you reckon, Eric?
Very.
Hey, Bet. Go the same again over here, please. Yes.
So you know this Councillor Tattersall, then, do you?
I've had dealings with him, yes. He's not exactly my favourite councillor.
Well, I believe he's not the top of the pops in anybody's list. It doesn't seem to bother him either.
What does he want to see me for, did you say?
No, he doesn't use two words where one will do. He just said he'd call by the community centre this afternoon.
Well, if he's expecting the red flag, you're due for a disappointment.
A little diplomacy might not come amiss.
Well, if you mean crawl to that man.
That man can make a lot of mischief if he wants to. It's his forte.
Yeah, well, I can't think of any particular skeletons in our local cupboard. Did he hint he was coming to stir up any particular trouble?
No, but then where Councillor Tattersall is, trouble is never far behind.
The age had got nothing to do with it. It could have happened to anybody.
Of course it could.
I just got her down. She'd had trouble with her poor little gums all day. Her little face was as red as fire. And I just got her to sleep. But...
When the phone rings.
Yes, and I turned round quickly to
And
stop
that's
it.
when you tripped and fell.
Yes,
Could happen to anyone.
of course it could.
Still, it's all over now. Nobody's blaming you.
What, for doing something good turn? I should hope not.
I'll tell Ray Langston he was lucky it wasn't me. If I'd have took the tumble you did, half his furniture would have been smashed to bits.
Who's that? I don't want any visitors.
Am I on time?
Bang on time, 10 out of 10.
If you've come visiting Emily Bishop, you needn't have bothered. I'm not feeling up to call as yet.
Oh, I'm not a visitor, Mrs. Sharples. I'm one of Eddie's team.
Team? What team?
I brought a little something tasty for your tea. Warm it up on a medium light for about half an hour. It is cooked through.
What team?
Isn't that nice, Mrs. Bishop, Duchess? You know, I mean, better than beans on toast, what you'd have got off me.
Eddie, what team?
Oh, he's organised it terribly well, Mrs. Sharples. One of the neighbours is going to pop in throughout the day. There'll always be someone here to make sure you're all right.
All your friends rallying round, you know. Just the same as you do for them if they was in need.
I'm not in need of anything. Thank you very much, both of you. All I want is a little peace and quiet, on my own, in my own home. So I would be very much obliged if you'd leave, both of you.
But, Duchess, you're only just out of hospital.
Now,
Someone's got to keep an eye on you.
good afternoon.
Come on, Mrs. Bishop. Some people you just can't help.
Aren't you forgetting something, Emily Bishop?
Oh, sorry.
Don't mind taking your food until I can do a bit of buying in. But I'm not an invalid.
I suppose I don't need to ask why you didn't come into work today.
No, there's no need to say I told you so either.
Wasn't going to. Look, can I help?
You don't listen to reason, you know. I mean, I knew he were a stubborn man when I married him, but...
Well, that was one of his attractions.
Was it?
Oh, Rita. You could never have fallen in love with a doormat, a man who'd let you walk all over him, not you.
Plenty women do. They prefer fellas that can twist round the little finger.
But not you. I'm not saying you want to be bossed about, but you want it 50-50, like any intelligent woman would. And that's what you've got.
So I've got the perfect arrangement. So why am I not flaming happy?
Because you don't know when to give in.
You have to stick up for what you think's right, even you.
Oh, but he thinks he's right, too, Mr. Fairclough.
You think he's right and all, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do. I mean, I can quite understand him not wanting Terry here. I mean, particularly in view
Who his father is. That point has been made several times.
Well, you can't have made things any better by letting him think that you told Terry to go when you hadn't.
Could have handled it a bit more tactful, I must admit.
You know, makes me laugh.
Well, I'm glad I'm cheering somebody up. Why?
Well, me giving you advice on how to handle men.
No, it's a case that onlookers see him most at game, isn't it? Anyway, you're not daft, love.
Well, you often go on as if I am.
Well, it's only 'cause I like teasing you. Adds a bit of spice to life, taking the mickey.
Yeah, but not when you hurt people.
I wouldn't hurt you.
I wasn't thinking about me.
I wouldn't hurt Len, either. I still think he's wrong over Terry, but I love him. I wouldn't hurt him.
Well, you say that, but you have, haven't you?
Only his pride.
No, Rita, more than his pride. You've only been married to him 5 minutes and already you've put somebody else before him. I mean, how important do you think that makes him feel to you? Oh, look, Rita, I understand how you feel about Terry, but... Well, Mr. Fairclough is your husband, and you've got to get your priorities right.
I'm not taking sides, mate.
No one's asking you to.
Well, I get no thanks if I did. All I'm trying to say is it worth it? I mean, you're stuck here, miserable as sin, when you'd rather be at home with your feet under your own table. I'd have thought you'd had enough of these pie and pint lunches to last your lifetime.
So you think I should put me belly before me principles?
It's not just your dinner you're missing, is it? It's Rita and all. And I bet my bottom dollar she feels the same way.
Then why the hell doesn't she come round to my way of thinking?
Because you upset her. I know, she upset you and all. But you can't go on like this indefinitely, you know. One of you's got to hold out the olive branch. Or better still, a bunch of flowers.
I can't see Rita buying a bunch of flowers. Tell me something, Alfred, as someone who's so much older and wiser than me.
I don't know about older.
Why is it always got to be the fella?
Well, who gives in? Just seems that way.
Because it is that way.
All right, so Bucky, you stand on your principles. You know just where it's going to get you, don't you?
More of what I've already got.
Right.
Look. See you.
That's all right.
I could just possibly arrange to be free, I suppose.
Given the right reasons.
Of course.
Night on the town with two big spenders who are witty, charming, and kind to the mother, so you'll be in no danger.
You just had to spoil it, didn't you?
Just for the first couple of hours, any road. Right, Eric?
Right.
Will he be coming as well?
We go everywhere together.
Siamese twins.
Of course, if...
Wait for it. I think he's going to say a whole sentence.
Of course, if you had a mate, there'd be no problem, would there?
A mate?
Right. Have you got a mate?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I have.
Nice.
Not bad. Not as ravishing as me, of course.
Who is?
Very few.
Hey, Bet Lynch, I'll not tell you again. Will you come and give us a hand?
See you later, then.
Shouldn't we have something better to do?
We haven't, have we?
Right, Reen. Shut shop early, run yourself a bag full of foam bubbles and iron your best frock.
Why, who's coming?
Nobody's coming. We're going out with two fellas.
36p, please, love, thanks. Thanks. Which two fellas?
Talk about fussy. Have you never heard the saying about never look a gift horse in his wallet?
Ah, that's the catch, is it? Mine has 4 legs.
No, he hasn't. They are two big spenders who are witty and charming and kind to their mothers.
Their description, I take it.
Well, you've got to trust somebody sometime.
Where are you going?
To wash me hair, to make myself look irresistible.
Oh, so I take it you've decided to trust them, then?
I'm a very trusting girl. Besides, I've got a dead sharp hat pin.
Yes, Mr. Tatlock.
I want to...
Mr. Tatlock? It is Mr. Tatlock, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I saw you leaving the centre. Tattersall, Councillor Tattersall. I wonder if I could have a word with you.
Yes, if you'll just excuse me 1 minute.
It's all right if you want to talk privately. I've something to see Bet for anyway. Won't be a tick.
Right. Well, sir, what can I do for you?
Well, I understand Mrs. Williamson phoned you the other day.
Who? Oh, from Town Hall. Ah, she did.
She was trying to arrange for coffee and biscuits to be laid on for next week's visit.
Yeah, and I told her it couldn't be done.
But it's usual to arrange hospitality for the annual weekend inspection. I mean, the committee have a very arduous schedule.
Yes, well, the committee will have to get the refreshments at the next port of call, won't they? I explained all that to Mrs. Stingerby Bob.
Yes, but it's part of your duty to provide such services as may be necessary, as well you know.
No, not my duty. No, I'm only the deputy caretaker. Mrs. Sharples is in charge of refreshments.
Then tell her to get the refreshments.
But she's a very sick woman. She's had a bad accident. She's only just come out of hospital. I explained all that to Mrs. Stingerby Bob. I don't know what she's making such a fuss about sending you round here.
Well, I came because it's hardly a very satisfactory state of affairs, is it? I mean, 2 caretakers.
No, I'm only the deputy.
All right, 1 caretaker, 1 deputy. But neither of you actually seem to do very much when it comes down to it.
Look, I'm not going to have this. There's a lot of work to be done here. And let me tell you, it always gets done. The only thing is, there's a limit to how much I can do myself.
You make it sound as if she doesn't help you very much, even when she is well.
Well, between you and me, she doesn't. But then she's an old woman. She's not fit and strong like I am.
Really?
No. A woman at her age, you know, she's got to take things easy. Whereas I'm an old soldier, and I always pride myself on keeping myself fit.
I see. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Tatlock. You've been a great help to me.
And you'll tell that committee of yours to get the coffee and biscuits somewhere else.
Oh, I don't know about that. But don't you worry. And thanks again.
St. Bin,
What is it?
your dinner.
Oh, well, it's something of the Rovers. I'm not bothered.
Well, if you're not bothered, I'm not. You're the one that pays the housekeeping bills.
Rita, I can't go back to work leaving things like this.
Can't you?
Is that all you're going to say?
I don't know what I'm going to say till I've heard what you say.
I just want us to go back to what we were before.
Before Terry came.
Yeah. I hate atmospheres.
Well, you don't think I spent last night and all this morning laughing my socks off, do you?
I realise that.
Do I take it this is some form of apology?
For some of the things I said last night, yes.
But not for what you did? You still think you're right and I'm wrong?
For heaven's sake, Rita, does it matter? I mean, the kid's gone. He'll be all right. He's a survivor if ever I saw one. But it's you and me I'm concerned about. Let's stop this bickering.
Heaven knows I'd like to.
Well, all that's needed is for you to see a bit of sense.
For me to see a bit of sense? You still think it's my fault I'm in the wrong?
I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Oh, didn't you? So we can make it up provided it's unconditional surrender on my part. Well, I'm sorry, Len. You didn't marry a pathetic little specimen who'll say yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full to your every command. If you'd have wanted that, you should have married one of them. There's plenty of them around, but I'm not one of them. I've got a mind of my own, and I'm not going to be frightened to speak it now or ever. And if we hit another patch where I think something should be done, I shall do it.
Even if I don't want it?
Dead right. I've been my own boss too long.
Aye. Perhaps you have.
Very nice. To meet you.
Similar. No. You'll have to do better than that, kid.
Pardon?
Well, you see, he only speaks in single words. And if you do the same, you're not going to get on very well, are you? Still, I suppose other things apart from conversation.
Pets.
Hey, you didn't tell me you lived in Aladdin's cave.
Come again.
All this booze.
It's an off-licence.
I can see that. Works in a pub, lives in an off-licence. How do you stop sober?
I drink a lot of milk.
Does you a lot of good and all. Are you both in digs here?
I am. She's the landlady.
Eric, old mate, you know what you've landed, don't you? A woman of property.
Fancy.
See what I mean?
I am mortgaged up to the hilt.
Listen, you've got your own business. I think that's very enterprising. It's more than we've got, right, Eric?
Right.
What do you do for a living?
Scaffolding.
Fascinating.
I have warned you.
We erect scaffolding.
Anyway, I'm more interested in where we're going tonight.
A club, where else?
Oh, great.
One snag.
Always is.
It's a bit early for a club, so I was wondering, why don't we have a drink or 3 here?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, we'll pay for what we drink.
No, don't be daft. It's not that.
She doesn't trust us, Eric.
Shame.
Oh, come on, Reen. It's just a couple, and they're right, it is a bit early.
I don't know.
Come on, lads, it's cozier in back. But remember, it's just a couple, so don't be thinking you're going to get your feet under the table or anywhere else for that matter.
What is she talking about, Eric?
No idea.
Oh, do be careful, Cap. You'll be overdoing it.
I think we've fallen on our feet here, mate. Know what I mean?
Emily, love, if you really want to see this play...
Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I do enjoy a good play. They seem to have so few on these days.
I don't see much television, you know, with working here. Black and white minstrels. They were my Cyril's favourites.
Yes, they are very watchable.
Yeah.
But I like a good drama I can really lose myself in. Something with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
And no sex, please. We're British.
Oh, I'm not a prude, Ken. I certainly don't approve of all this gratuitous... Well, I don't. But human emotions are a part of life. It would be unrealistic if they weren't portrayed.
Somewhat good, is it?
Well, it's highly recommended in the Sunday papers.
Oh, well, I think I'll go home and watch it myself. I could do with a good laugh.
Oh, I don't think it's a comedy.
So, I'll settle for a good cry.
Go with her. Draw the curtains. Hold around the watch goggle box. You can't go on acting like a pair of kids, a pair of you.
I took your advice at dinner time, Alf. It didn't do me any good then. I can't see it doing me any good now.
So you're not going with her?
Can I have the same again, Betty, please?
Not for me, Len. Thanks, I'm come on.
So am I. Ta-da. Jim.
Lager and lime, please, when you've a minute.
What is it?
Buy our clothes and everything.
Good evening, Mr. Barlow. Oh, hello, Councillor Tattersall. I understood you were coming to see me this afternoon.
Well, I didn't need to. I had a very interesting chat with Mr. Tatlock instead. He's your uncle, isn't he?
Just about, yes. What sort of interesting chat?
You know, it seems to me there's some very odd goings-on down at that community centre, Mr. Barlow. I mean, Mrs. Sharple's living in the flat, rent-free, nominally the caretaker, but in point of fact, not doing a hand.
Yes, well, she only just come out of
hospital. Yes, I know, very sad. But she was hardly a working caretaker before that, was she?
Oh, Mr. Tatlock helps her out, that's no secret. The work gets done.
You know what it looks like to me, Mr. Barlow?
Tell me.
It looks like to me as if you've got a local mafia group here.
What?
Everything very cosily sewn up between you. You work across there. Your uncle does. Mrs. Sharple's living under...
ridiculous.
Hmm? Ridiculous, am I? Well, we'll see. When one of you gets marching orders.
Well, he's saying this place ought to be occupied by a full-time caretaker.
What are you saying to him?
Well, the work gets done, doesn't it? Caretaking, I mean, even if you don't do it yourself personally. And anyway, if we move you away from here, we've still got to put you up somewhere else. So where's the saving?
Sounds like common sense to me, though councils aren't usually blessed with common sense.
Well, you can't expect me as a councillor to agree with you there, can you?
It's true, isn't it? If it weren't, you'd have stopped them new flats in Liverpool Road from being smashed to smithereens. How much of the ratepayers' brass would you have saved if you'd done that? Millions. But I've been expecting something like this to happen. I don't want to leave here. But I've been expecting some jumped-up jack in office coming sniffing round sooner or later.
Oh, it's one thing on top of another, isn't it, Mrs. Sharples? First your accident, and now worrying if you're going to have to lose your home. But don't worry. I'm sure Alf and Len are more than a match for what's his name again?
Councillor Tattersall.
I'm more than a match for him on all. I always was for that sort in the past. I'm not going to do lally yet, you know, Emily Bishop.
Oh, I never for one moment suggested you had, Mrs. Sharples. I mean, it's quite obvious you haven't. It's just that you're not getting any younger. Well, none of us are. And perhaps not quite as... I'm positive you're more than a match for him, Mrs. Sharples.
Well, I'm not so sure. He's a nasty piece of work, is Jim Tattersall.
And he called us the Mafia. Just because we're trying to make sure that an old lady has a home in a street where she's lived most of her life, where her friends are and where she's happy.
That is diabolical, that is.
And he cast doubts on my legitimacy as well.
Do you mean he called you a...
No, he just said I only held down my job because of nepotism.
Hey?
Friends in high places. Actually, I believe a few strings were pulled by Alf.
There's only one way to deal with this geezer. That's to frighten us. Me and me mates bump into him one dark night, accidentally on purpose. And just before we cut his ears off, we whisper how if he doesn't stop hounding Mrs. Sharples, he'll end up stretched from one end of the M6 to the other, because he would if he was strapped to the back wheel of a juggernaut.
Yeah, I do believe you mean it.
I do.
Lager, please, love. What have you got there, then? Nothing. And how long has all dolled up been putting nothing into plastic bags?
All that? Oh, it's just a little cheap blouse I've bought. I mean, I haven't a decent one to wear, have I?
I can think of at least 6 decent ones offhand that you've got. And the only thing cheap at all dolled up is Stella Roebuck. I know, because I went to school with her.
Well, she's always been very nice with me.
You think you're going to pinch Les off me, don't you?
Don't.
Well, you've no chance. My ear's still red raw from where he nibbled it last night.
And what do you think Eric was doing to my ear?
All right, so long as we know where we stand. Les is mine, Eric's yours, right?
Right. Now then, we've got this little matter cleared up. What time are we going to this party?
Well, I thought we'd get there about 9-ish. We don't want to seem too eager.
Leave about 7:30 then.
How long will it take to get to Ashland-on-Lyne?
About an hour. Then you've got to get through Frontier Guard, you know.
Right, 7:30. Did you want that lager?
Well, I did, but I think I'll go home now and try my blouse on. Stella Roebuck seems to think it'll look a knockout, not to mention sexy.
For the last time, if there's any comebacks, I'll take the blame.
Oh, yeah, but, do you think it's wise? Look, isn't it like adding fuel to the flames?
We're entitled to an hour or two off on Wednesday afternoon. Besides, all the shops in Weatherfield are shut.
Yes, but, we're a cafe as well, supplying a service.
Not this afternoon. We're going to Manchester for a couple of hours. It's not a crime.
Well, I think you're just doing it to spite Mr. Fairclough myself.
Nothing at all.
You're being very silly if you are.
I am not doing it to spite him.
Look, don't you think you've carried this silly feud on long enough?
Not a feud. I did nothing wrong. He behaved like a pig.
Oh, no, you only invited the son of your boyfriend.
Why don't you say ex-lover? That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? Can't you say lover?
Yes.
Well, go on. Say it.
Lover. Anyway, as I was saying, you had him stopping here in Mr. Fairclough's house without even bothering to ask him.
It's half my house. I married Fairclough April 20th. I'm Mrs. Fairclough. I shouldn't have to ask.
Oh, Rita.
Oh, Rita what?
Well, marriage is give and take, or it should be.
So you want me to give him?
Oh, yes. Would it be so terrible?
Why don't he give him?
Because he thinks you're in the wrong.
I think he's in the wrong.
So it's stalemate, is it? Oh, look, Rita, why don't you be the generous one? Somebody's got to back down sometime. It'll go on forever and you don't want that, do you? Oh, please, Rita. It upsets me to see you falling out with Mr. Fairclough, and so soon, too. Well, I'd got such great hopes for this marriage. Two mature people.
Do you know what I think?
What?
I think that's just what Fairclough's hoping for. That I'll back down, give in. Well, he's got another thing coming. Oh, come on, it's going to be too late to get to Manchester.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Why didn't you bring one for yourself?
Oh, I had a couple of pints in the Rovers. It's top whack for me, dinner time, that.
It doesn't mean you can't afford one, does it?
Oh, no, I'm dead flush at the moment. Dead flush. Councillor Tattersall hasn't shown up yet, then.
Where's he going to?
Well, Ken Barlow said he could.
What's the you if he does come?
I'd just like to be here.
Why?
Well, if I'm sitting in the corner, all 15 stone of me, it'll remind him to watch his manners, won't it? And encourage him to have a bit of respect for an old lady. Especially if I scowl at him. I once put a policeman on the sick list just by scowling at him, you know. Well, it was dark and I did have a nylon stocking over my head.
So, you see, you want to be a kind of bodyguard, is that it?
All the best people have 'em, Mrs. Sharples, and some of the worst.
Ah, yes, but they can't look after themselves and I can.
Oh, I won't lay a finger on him, honest. Well, not on the premises.
That's right, because you're not going to be on the premises, even if your heart is in the right place.
Oh, Mrs. Sharples.
Be a good lad and go and see who that is, will you?
Yeah, Mr. Sharp.
Fella here says he's Councillor Tattersall, but he's got no means of identification except an out-of-date driving licence and a ticket to a club that I happen to know has topless waitresses.
All right, Eddie, that's enough of that. Thank you for the drink, but I think Councillor Tattersall wants to have a word with me in private.
Shall I just sit in the corner? I won't scowl too much.
Good afternoon.
Well, I'll be next door if you want me in the centre.
Sit down. Sorry I can't offer you a drink. My friend only brought me the one. Well, what can I do for you?
It'll save me and yourself a lot of trouble.
Well, and how can I do that?
Now, this is nothing personal, you understand. I'm only doing my job, what I was elected for.
And what would that be?
Well, for one thing, to see that council property is put to effective and proper use.
On what council property were you referring to?
Oh, I think you know, Mrs. Sharples. This place, this flat.
Oh, I see. So you think it's being put to improper use, do you? Well, I can assure you that it is not. I live here by myself. I'm quite respectable. At my age, I couldn't very well be anything else. I keep it clean. I don't keep any coal in the bath. I don't keep 5 or 6 cats. In fact, I don't keep a cat at all.
Don't tell me you were a comedian, Mrs. Sharples.
I didn't know I was.
Well, the point is, as well you've no right here. This is purpose-built accommodation, and the purpose is to provide a home for the community centre caretaker.
Well, that's what I am.
Only in name. Ken Barlow and the kids do most of the caretaking. As well you're not even paid for it.
Yes, but my deputy, Albert Tatlock, is paid.
Well, I don't know why. If you do nothing, he does less than nothing.
That's not true. Between us, we do a great deal of work, including keeping those kids you mentioned earlier in some sort of order.
Look, you're not an official caretaker, as well you know.
So what do you propose to do about it?
Get you out. Now, look, I'm only doing my duty.
I see. So throwing an old woman out onto the streets is your idea of duty, is it?
Oh, we'll find you somewhere else, an old folks' flat or bungalow.
Over the other side of town?
Oh, possibly.
Suppose I refuse to budge.
Well, there's always the bailiffs.
Those chaps don't frighten me.
Have you ever had any dealings with them? Then you don't know what you're talking about, do you, Mrs. Sharples?
Well?
What?
What do you think?
Hey, is that new?
Oh, you know very well it is.
Well, I've seen worse.
Oh, you are wrong. You take all my confidence away.
I'm only kidding, you're honest. It's smashing, kid. You're gonna knock Eric sideways. And notice I said Eric, not Les.
Yeah, I heard. Oh, you don't look so bad yourself.
I know. And if I say so myself, I look sensational. And having looked like this for a number of years, why is it then I'm still single?
Well, it's because men only make passes at girls who look gorgeous.
Do you know, it's very good, that, and very true. Did you make it up yourself?
Half of it.
Oh. Hey, I'm looking forward to tonight, kid, are you?
Yeah, I am. As a matter of fact, I get on quite well with Eric, really.
And the rest?
How do you mean?
Never mind. I like Les, too. He's a bit fly, but that's just his machismo showing.
What?
Don't you know anything? That's his virility, his maleness.
Well, I can't say I've noticed.
No. Anyway, come on, kid. We don't want to be late and find a couple of scrubbers in store when we get there.
We'll soon see them off.
Do you reckon?
No danger. I feel irresistible tonight. As a matter of fact, I feel very sorry for Eric, you know. I wonder whether he's up to it or not.
We'll just have to see.
There they go. Looks like we're on, mate. It's like taking toffees from a babby.
Thank you. So nice tonight, kid.
Keep away from the door for now, there's no blind. And try not to knock hotels over.
How much a week do you spend on drink?
And what business is that of yours?
Well, I never see you without a glass in your hand.
What's up, Albert? You spent your pension already?
Damn near.
Well, you want to do what Charlie Mason or Alfred's old friend used to do. While he had brass in his pocket, he never was sober. But as soon as it had gone, he used to turn religious, march up and down the street singing hymns with a placard that said under new management.
Well, I don't see what you've got to smile at. Not from what I've heard.
Oh, who have you been talking to?
Well, I can, for one. You know, I knew that Tattersall fella were up to something when I met him in Corner shop yesterday, and he never stopped asking questions.
About me?
Well, Aunt Centre.
And I bet you weren't backward at coming forward either.
I said no.
Oh, that'll be the day you've got a mouth bigger than a crocodile. Anyhow, if you're worried about me, you've no need to bother, because Alf Roberts has got my interests at heart. Mind you, he's not the sort of fellow I'd ride behind on a tandem who's a bit of a wet end, but he'll do his best.
Knuckle Butty, that's what he wants.
Have you ever given anybody a knuckle butty?
Of course I have.
Just shows you know the different kinds of life we lead.
It's all a question of diet, Ernest. You see, Eddie here eats raw meat, don't you?
Any other sauce?
Hey, Len, what's Alf doing about Enid, you know?
Oh, he's having a word with a few of the social services committee. He's going to get to them before Tattersall does.
No, they liked folks in the scruff to come in here at night. I reckon it knows the tone myself.
Are you talking to me?
Oh, it's you. Do you know, I thought it was some passing bum. Hey, when I said play it cool, mate, I didn't mean leave home.
It's her that's flipping left home, isn't it?
What?
Well, she might just as well have done. I mean, she's been out shopping all afternoon, nothing to eat when I come back at night.
You know what all that's about, don't you?
Well, you're going to tell me anyway. Go on.
Yeah, she's having a last fling before she capitulates.
You reckon?
Definitely. It's all happening just like I told you. Now have a drink. 2 pints, please, Betty.
Len? Are you up there? Len? He's not in.
Perhaps he's working late.
Aye, at Rovers, if you can call propping up a bar working.
Now, Rita, remember what you said.
I am doing my best to keep my temper, honest.
Then why's your neck gone all red? Your neck always goes red when you lose your temper.
It does not.
Yes, it does. When your neck goes red, then I know to keep out of your way.
How come you notice things about me nobody else does?
Oh, perhaps because I'm very observant.
Well, stop being so observant. There's things folk don't want to know about themselves. They're happier in ignorance, especially when you talk about their necks going scarlet.
Oh, I said red. Well, it's pale pink, actually. Sorry.
To prove I meant what I said, I am going to assume that Len is working, and I'm going to make him a lovely tea with these prawns I've bought him, and I'm going to give him every chance to make it up between us, providing he's back in next hour.
Oh, Rita, you'll not regret it. It's better to live like 2 lovebirds than cat and dog.
2 souls with but a single thought.
Yeah.
2 hearts that beat as one.
Beautiful.
Do you know, maybe you'd have been better off singing in heavenly choir. You're not of this world.
That's very true.
78. This must be 76, yeah?
76. 74.
Oh, one right.
Hey! It's boarded up.
Evening.
Oh, hello. Working rather late, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it's the only way we can keep up in summer. People get thirsty. Do you know, I've known us delivering well midnight, especially last year. Still, it's good for business.
It must be.
Great.
I'm sure nothing will come of it, Mrs. Sharples. He's all wind and water, that fella. You know me, I'm a good student of human nature.
Oh, well, we shall have to say about that, won't we?
You don't seem very worried yourself.
Of course I'm worried. You're not much good as a student of human nature.
Hey, look who's just come in.
Who's that?
Tattersall.
Well, of all the flipping cheek, that's rubbing it in, that is. He's coming here to curl his lip. That is definitely aggravation. Well, I'll straighten it for him.
You stay here, sit where you are.
Lager and lime, please.
Half for a pint.
No, just a half. Moderation in most things, that's my motto.
Yeah.
Hello then, Len. Private meeting, is it? I dare say you have a lot of these around here, do you? Private meetings.
And what was that then, Jim?
You weren't all right, Len. The one thing you're not is deaf.
Oh, no, I'm not deaf. I just didn't get the drift.
Well, he got the drift all right, didn't you, Mr. Barlow?
Yeah, you're suggesting we're having a meeting of the local mafia, are you?
If the cap fits.
You can be an objectionable sod when you want to be, can't you, Jim?
Then, Len, remember that you're a public figure. Your pub fighting days should be over.
Don't bank on it, James.
Well, I'm not a public figure. And I tell you this.
Don't get involved,
Look,
Emily.
somebody's got to get involved, Emily. Look, I tell you this. If Ina has to leave her home because of you, you're going to have me to answer to, and I mean that.
Hey, didn't know you agreed with fisticuffs, eh?
There's always a first time for everything, Eddie.
Look, Mr. Tattersall, don't you think it'd be better if you left, you know, before there's any trouble? You don't need to pay for your drink.
I'm going to pay for it.
Oh.
And drink it. I came in here for a quiet glass of beer. It's them that's causing the trouble, not me.
I think he came in here deliberately to provoke us.
Of course he did, Ken. Don't argue with him, just hit him.
I came in here to see Mrs. Sharples. I believe this is her second home.
You're not going to let him get away with that, are you, Mrs. Sharples?
I've been insulted before today, Eddie Yates. You stay where you are.
He's only telling the truth.
You can say what the hell you like about us, but one more crack about her.
Now, that's enough,
Yeah,
Len.
leave him, Len. He's not worth it.
You've been warned.
You've been warned, and all fair cloth.
Lay another finger on me and I'll have you in court as well as drummed out of the council.
Don't be ridiculous, you ridiculous little man.
Ernest.
We'll see who's ridiculous in a few days' time when that woman's turned out in the street, because that's how it's going to be. I've lodged a formal complaint with the appropriate official. He has to make inquiries. He's got no alternative. And we all know what he'll find, don't we? He'll find that Mrs. Sharples has as much right in that flat as a pair of donkeys. I reckon she'll be out in a month at the latest.
Rubbish.
Eh?
You heard me, Jim. I said rubbish.
It's not rubbish, as well you know.
All I know is I've just been down to a meeting of the Social Services Committee. And very interesting I found it, too.
Yes, well, next time it'll be more interesting when they discuss Ina Sharples.
Well, they won't be discussing her, will they? At least they won't if you're as canny as I think you are, Jim.
Yeah, they will. Nothing sure, as well you know.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just the meeting I found so interesting tonight. It was more the private talks I had with one or two of the members afterwards. Friends of yours. At least I thought they were.
What private talks?
Well, I'll tell you. If you'll listen. They all more or less said the same thing. Of course, you know why he wants the old lady out of the flat, don't you? Because his niece has put him for the job as caretaker. That's why. Now, that were them talking. Is that right, Jim? Typical. Has she put him for the job as caretaker?
No, she hasn't. There's a bloody slander.
Oh. Well, you won't mind me making a few inquiries, then, will you?
Well, if she has done, I don't know anything about it.
Changing your story already, eh?
Kick him in the edge, Alf.
Look, I've only been doing what I were elected for. It's got nothing to do with my niece.
Now, do you really think folk are going to believe that, Jim? Look, you're hounding an old lady out of her home, and the very next day, your niece is moving in. Now, do you think folk are going to think you're just doing your duty? Or aren't they more likely to think you're just looking after your own?
Yeah, and he had the nerve to call us a mafia.
Well, Jim?
You've not heard the last of this, Alf. I make a bad enemy.
Do you hear that, Mrs. Sharples? Alf Roberts has given council a tattoo till the bums rush.
Well, I always knew he would. I had complete faith in him.
Hypocrite.
Where do you think you've been?
I've been to Rovers.
Oh, well, I'd never have guessed in a million years.
Well, where else do you expect me to go? I come home to an empty house and no flipping tea.
What do you think that is? Pattern on plate.
I wasn't there at tea time.
They've been there 2 hours. Them prawns are getting an inferiority complex, wondering why nobody's bothering to eat them.
Are they prawns? I like prawns.
Do you?
You know I do.
I know you're a pig.
So it's special, is it?
So it's special, is it? Why do fellas think they look appealing when they act like little lads, when in fact they look puddled?
Well, even so, can I,
That's what it's there for.
No bread. Oh, they're scrumptious. They melt in your mouth.
You got a salad cream all over your chin.
Have we got hanky?
Here.
Down. My way then.
Have me tea with Mavis?
Prawns.
No,
So you saved them all for me.
that's what you want to think.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
What for?
Well, I could have been a bit more, I don't suppose it would have done any harm to let Terry stay for a couple of days?
No. I should have asked you about that. After all, Terry's nothing to do with you.
No. Do you want one?
Just one. Lovely.
Rita.
What?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah?
What's for pudding?
You'd be surprised.
Oh, 3 hours either on buses or waiting for him. We could have been across the Atlantic with an aeroplane by now.
I think Ashton Underline is across the Atlantic, and I still say we've been stood up.
I don't know. I still think you got the address wrong.
We've not only been stood up, Renee, we've been robbed.
Oh, my God.
You know who's robbed us, don't you? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Bet I feel sick.
Bye, love.
Bye.
Why I kiss you goodbye every morning, I'll never know, seeing I'm never more than 50 yards away from you all day.
All the same.
I mean, you know, there are people in London that spend 2 hours in a train getting to work.
But they're quite mad down there. Everyone knows that.
Oh, you will call in at
The electricity board, yes. I'll ask them politely but firmly for an explanation.
Right. Oh, and you won't forget the bank, will you?
Off you go, Ernest.
All right.
Now, shoot.
Bye-bye, love.
Bye.
Right then, they've had 15 quid out the till, and we came to about 400 quid's worth of booze, give or take.
Yeah.
And you're pretty certain in your own mind it was these two comics who stood you up last night?
What do you think?
Oh, I'd be inclined to follow it up. Cast your eyes over that again, anyway. But if you're right, they'll be a long way off by now.
I bet they will.
Have you ever had a visit from our crime prevention?
Are you being sarcastic?
Me, love. I reckon the bloke from your insurance is likely to be the sarcastic one. You're not exactly Fort Knox.
But I'm covered. I mean, I am covered.
I hope so. Is it right?
Yeah. Do you want the invoice numbers of the cases and everything? In case it gets to court?
I don't think we're going to go all forensics over this one, love.
Do you think you'll ever get them to court?
Well, put it this way. I'll be very surprised if your two cowboys don't appear in court somewhere, sometime, for something. Whether it's ours here or somewhere else.
It's all very casual to you, isn't it?
No, it's all business.
Just another break-in.
Well, like you say, it's got a bit of a comical touch. But it'll not go down in the annals of crime. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Oh, this is the lady that was with me last night.
Morning.
Hang on while I like my breakfast.
Can you describe these two blokes, Miss Lynch?
More or less.
Ever seen them before?
Not before they come in Rovers. I work there.
Is that right?
The one that called himself Les, he come in, well, giving me the eye, you know. Might be hard for you to believe.
Did I say that?
I meant it was later in the day.
Yeah, just describe him, huh?
He's a rat and lecherous with it.
You'll not get very far on that bet.
Medium height, fairish, sort of cocky, you know.
Build. Big bloke.
Kind of medium. Medium all over, really. Hey, why don't you give us a go at one of them photo what's-its? That thing where Barty throws it, you know.
You've been watching too much telly, love.
Barty's blooming comical.
It's got you, this, hasn't it?
What do you think?
Gets me, it does. Why don't I like grapefruit? Why don't I like a single thing that's slimming?
You're going mad with slimming you. You'll get anorexia.
Think I got fat glands.
Look at you. If you drank through a straw, you'd run the risk of drowning. You're drowning through a straw, you.
Everything I eat goes on me somewhere.
Hey! How would you fancy making a few quid?
Maureen, it's gonna eat like a pig.
I'm talking to you. How'd you fancy making a few quid?
Doing what?
Putting up a student.
What do you mean?
You know, putting them up bed and breakfast.
What do you mean bed and breakfast?
I mean what I say. It's a common enough expression. We could do it easy. We got the run of the place. Am I getting through to you? I am talking about offering accommodation to students. Look, it says it here. Accommodation required. Overseas students on short duration courses require bed and breakfast accommodation immediately. Please contact Mrs. H.K. Ingleby, Accommodation Officer, Weatherfield Technical College. Well, what do you say?
Not what I say. What'll Elsie say? She's not here. It's her house.
It's her bed. Nobody's going begging.
I'm going to work.
Oh, well, if anybody asks, tell them I'm bilious.
Oh, you're not skiving off again.
It's right, I don't feel very well. I know I'm going to phone that Mrs. Ingleby.
Oh, don't be daft, don't.
Why? I'm only finding out, making inquiries. I wonder how much they pay.
You want locking up, you do.
Oh, really? Oh, dear, I feel awful, really.
What's the matter, love?
Well, there were two men last night. I saw them.
You what? Bet, just come in here a minute.
Have you ever felt sick with stupidity? They were just going in and out of the door. They had a van. They gave me to understand they were delivering. They must have just been taking it all out. Oh, Rini, I'm sorry. I feel so stupid.
Love, it's not your fault. You're not the only one.
What is it?
Mrs. Bishop, she saw them.
You never. I did.
Apparently they were just going in and out of this door, whistling while they worked. You do mean that door?
Yes, I even spoke to one of them.
Was he a cheerful sort of bloke, wearing an anorak?
That's right.
Les.
You mean you know who it was?
If you feel daft, what do you think we feel? The other one's called Eric. We were supposed to be meeting him last night, but we were stood up.
No.
Yes.
Well,
I'm sure I'll be able to identify them. And if you know who they are, well, surely the police must catch them.
Well, I'm glad you've got faith, Chuck. But you see, they never left a note saying where they were going.
I feel so stupid.
Yeah, it's Coronation Street, right, off Rosamond Street. Oh, well, we've only got the one room free at the moment, I'm afraid. Oh, yes, that would be satisfactory. Yes, it's number 11 Coronation Street, yes. Oh, and I want somebody respectable, mind, not one of these demonstrators. Right, I'll wait to hear from you then. The name is Howard, Mrs. Howard. Yes, right, fine. Bye-bye.
You're going to send somebody?
Hey, it's £3 a night.
You're going to do it?
It's money for jam.
Elsie'll kill us.
Oh, she'll not know.
Of course she'll know. If you put a foreign in here, someone's bound to let on. You're going to send somebody?
I think they want to take a look at the place.
Oh, well, they might not let a student stop here.
Why, it's not a slum or anything.
It's a right tip now. Probably got standards when they got to come up to.
It's only for students.
For £3 a night, they're not going to let them doss just anywhere.
Oh, all right, then I'll do it over this afternoon. Anyway, it's only for students, all as rough as dogs.
Yeah, well, it was your idea.
All right, then I'll keep the money.
Oh, no, we'll split the money. We'll both get chucked out.
Oh, aye. You want a quote, don't you?
Well, yeah, it really is time it was done again. I mean, it hasn't been decorated since Alf and I tried to do it, and I mean tried.
Just the one room?
Well, if you can quote me competitively, I might be able to run to the spare as well.
Oh, great. You taking sealed tenders or what?
Well, if you could just pop over and see how much it all adds up to, eh?
Well, I don't need to pop over, do I? I am vaguely familiar with the interior of them places.
Yeah.
50 quid a room.
50 quid?
Well, it's the going rate. For you, I'll say that includes the VAT.
50 quid? Does that include materials?
Yeah, I don't know how to make a living. I'd love to make it cheaper for you, Ernie, but I can't.
Well, at that rate, I can only afford to have the one room done. I mean, really?
Well, that's up to you.
Well, yeah, all right, I'll come back to you on it. I mean, we haven't even chosen colours yet, have we?
OK.
Well, I'll see you then. Cheerio, Deirdre.
Try.
Bit steep.
No, it's not.
Well, you know, friends.
Friends, neighbours and close relatives should be double rate. It's always twice the trouble in the end.
Pint, please, Betty.
Right, I love it.
Don't you treat your old pals, then?
Oh, blimey, I didn't see you quick enough, did I?
You weren't on the lookout for me, were you?
No reason to be, have I?
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm just coming for a drink, is that all right?
I only dropped in for a chat.
Well, why don't you try the flying horse?
Les and Eric don't get in a flying horse much, do they?
Les and Eric, who are they?
That's what I'm asking.
I wish you knew what you were talking about. Ciao, Betty.
You won't arrest him till he's settled his slate, will you? Sorry.
The two blokes who turned over the off-licence down the road.
You are?
Not heard.
When was this?
Last night.
And you're looking at me?
I'm talking to you, that's all. Over there.
Hello.
Hello.
Aye, aye. If it isn't the brewery's answer to Van Gogh.
Hey, Gary, are you listening? Now, he's a very great wit, this man. Listen, now we'll crack a good one.
Ah, get knotted.
Did you hear it? It's called wit and repartee. It's not often you're privileged.
Come on. Come on, leave it, mate, leave it. Come on.
Two.
Yeah.
Right, over there.
Hey, have you brought out in for our dinners?
Only having a biscuit thing.
Oh, you're useless, you.
There's a kipper in the fridge.
I don't want a kipper.
Oh, you have been to town, haven't you? I'll do with some salad.
Oh, hey.
Sorry. Have you sent anybody to inspect you?
No, but they better add, I've not done this for Ned.
Hey, if they do pass you, and they send a student, they might send a lad.
For £3 a night, they can send their cat.
No, but I mean,
No, all students aren't rapist, Gail. I shouldn't worry.
yeah, but it's overseas students, isn't
All overseas students aren't rapists either.
You know what I mean? Just imagine what they'll say around here.
I couldn't get that what they say. We are sophisticated working girls. And anyway, I don't know about you, but I don't go in for straggly beards and dirty necks. They don't wash, you know, students.
Might send an oil sheik, filthy rich with oil wells.
Or they might send a sexy Frenchman who looks like Sasha Distel, only 22, with olive skin and white teeth.
What would you do if they did?
Well, would have to turn him down on moral grounds.
Be Inspector.
Hey, do I look the part, you know, housewife, like a motherly?
You're going to say you're Mrs. Howard?
Yeah, I'll say my husband's out at work.
Who am I?
Me older sister, if anybody asks.
Mrs. Howard,
Oh, she's not in at the moment.
I have been sent to here by the Polytechnique.
Oh, you've been sent to the right place. You're not French by any chance, are you?
Ah oui?
I had a feeling.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's my fault.
How long are you here for?
How long? For 2 weeks only.
Oh. Sugar.
Thank you. That is most sufficient. Thank you. Yes, 1 week I go to a seminar. You understand? Seminar? To study various techniques.
Oh, yeah.
And then I go to all places to visit installation.
Sounds very interesting.
Oh, yes.
And you found your way here all right?
Yes, I come without impediment.
Oh. Cup of coffee for you.
All right. Ciao. Well, bonjour.
Ah, bonjour. You speak French?
No.
That is better for me. I must speak English. My English, I have much to improve, yes.
Oh, it's very good.
Oh, it is very hard for me. I learn in the school. And I find it is not how you speak here.
Oh, well, we talk ordinary. You've been probably taught to talk posh.
Posh. Posh.
You know, swanky, snobby.
Snobby snob, yes, I know this. Snob, this is posh.
We call it talking la-di-da.
La-di-da.
Oh, it's terrific the way you say that. I say it again.
La-di-da.
Hey, you could teach me French.
Yeah, me and all. I'd love to learn French.
What do you want to learn French for?
When I go on my holidays.
That won't get you far in prestating, Chuck.
Mrs. Howard, I must see her to pay the rent, yes?
Oh, well,
She will be coming soon. She's working.
Well, actually, she's away just for a few days.
Well, see Mr. Howard.
Oh, there is no Mr. Howard. There's only us.
You both live here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I expect you'd like to see your room.
Please. Though I am sure it will be perfect.
Well, we think so.
I hope. I hope.
It's off to a quick.
Hang on. See you, Betty Lou.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye, Doc. Oh, joking apart, mate. You like your work, don't you?
Do I?
Yeah, I can tell by the way you really make it last.
There he goes, Gary, Mr. Self-Employed, done more fiddles than Stradivarius.
Yeah, that's good, that is, Morris.
Did you say something, mate?
I wouldn't worry about it, you hoodie.
You know, there's one thing I could really like about you lads, and that's to see your backs. So pull your fingers out, eh? See if you can get it done by Christmas.
Have you finished?
Hey, what's to do with you today?
Do you know what his trouble is? He's a flaming big head.
Yeah, we know that. But he's a regular around here and well thought of as such, so knock it on the head, eh?
Well, if he'll knock it on the head, I will.
All right.
Anything for the quiet life, me.
And straight off they're on me backs. I mean, is it right? That is harassment, that is. Police harassment.
Oh, that's ridiculous. We know you've nothing to do with it.
So next time you pick up a couple of blokes, consult me first, eh?
Well,
I still found it very hard to credit. I mean, they didn't seem that type at all.
Yeah, well, they'd left their striped jerseys and swag bags at home, Betty. Villains are doing that these days, you know.
Oh, yes. I'm sure this will be very comfortable.
Yeah, you've got a smashing view. The view is, Tresbon.
Oh, magnifique.
Yeah, you can see the viaduct, and you can see the factory over the road, and you can see the abattoir. On a clear day, you can see a bit of sky. Is it about time you're going back to work, Gail?
Time you were and all.
I am still poorly.
There's only one thing wrong with you, Chuck, and I know perfectly well what that is.
Then have some consideration and leave me with my affliction.
Oh, you know, this is very bad, huh? For the column of the spine.
It's very comfortable.
It is very bad for the kidneys, too.
Go on.
Yes. Perhaps I shall sleep on the floor, huh?
On the floor? Really?
Many times I do this.
Oh, yeah, I know, when you've been at that Beau Jolly.
Pardon?
Oh, never mind. Here's the wardrobe. You can use this. Have you seen the time, Gail? Where's Elsie's stuff? In ours.
Everything brief and dry, huh? Is good for travel. Oh. You see this? I brought especially for England. It's good? I've been war on the Bar Manchester. There is bathroom?
Oh, yes, just on the left.
Is that your family?
No.
Fiancé?
No. Just a friend.
Oh, must be a very close friend.
No, not even so close. She is, religieuse.
Religious?
Yes. In a convent.
A nun?
Yes. She is going to be, a nun. Excuse me, huh? I must cut and wash myself.
Yeah, of course. Hey, come on, Susan. Oh, yeah, well, if you need anything, I'll be downstairs. Yeah.
You said if they sent a dark-haired, sexy French bloke.
But that was before they had.
Hey, if Elsie comes back and finds him in her room, she'll skin the pair of
If
us.
Elsie comes back and finds him in her room, she'll not let on for a week.
He's all right, isn't he?
He's edible, positively edible.
And stuck on a nun.
Yeah.
What a waste.
I don't know why they're spending all the money on this place, you know. They'll be better off pulling it down.
That Mrs. Walker here said that. They'll have you in intensive care.
It's right, though. I mean, there's only the paint holding this place up and the rest of the street.
They're better built, these houses, than anything that's going up these days.
Well, that's not saying much, is it? The paint's thicker than the walls these days. He'll tell you. Tell her about that bungalow you did, Gary.
What?
18,000 quid, and they were calling him back by the minute. Isn't that right, Gary?
Oh, aye.
It's not his fault, it's the timber. It's that green, there's leaves growing on it. True or false, Gary?
True.
It's awful, isn't it?
Just caught you.
You're late.
Oh, no, it's the wallpaper pattern book Mrs. Walker said she'd lend me.
Oh, yes, you did mention it to me. It's in the back. I'll fetch it for
Oh,
you.
great. Thanks, Betty. Why aren't you covered in paint? I mean, whenever I do it, I get covered up to here.
Because I know what I'm doing. I spent long enough learning.
Oh, well, each to his own last.
You do your own, mate, next time. You'll know what you're paying for.
I couldn't agree more. Only this time I am getting in somebody to do it.
Oh, hi, local.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie Longland?
No, Fairclough from Langton.
I thought you were getting a professional.
Well, they're all right, you know.
Look, don't tell me if you don't want to, but how much has he quoted you?
£50 a room.
Papered?
Well, yes, it's emulsion at the moment.
It'll need lining.
I wouldn't know.
Well, you want it done professional, don't you?
Well,
I mean, done right, you know. Well, it's up to you.
what exactly have you in mind?
Well, if I talk nicely to young Gary here, 2 rooms, 30 quid a room.
30?
We'll kill it for you, won't we, Gary?
Kill it.
Think about it. Only keep it on your hands.
Hey, no, wait a minute, I think you're on. In fact, what about the landing?
30 quid stairs the lot.
Hey, that really is something to think about, isn't it?
Only,
Hey, Alan, be careful. She's only borrowed it as well.
Okay, thanks, Betty.
Travel.
I'll be seeing you then.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Hey, if he gives us a job, when can we do it?
Well, not in our own time, son. Where's the profit in that?
Roger the lodger. Ridiculous.
Roger the lodger. Have you got a tire-bouche? Wherever you go, you must eat the spécialité de la région. Then you know what they eat. Huh?
Yeah, it's definitely a local delicacy.
Formidable.
And tomorrow we'll introduce you to the chip butty.
Chip butty?
Oh, you'll love it. A chip butty, a glass of wine.
And thou beside me in the wilderness.
Yes. A very noble wine too, huh? For this august occasion. Hey. A bit for you. A bit for you. And a bit more for you, huh? And a lot for me. Santé, hein?
Hey, is that what you say?
Santé.
Santé.
C'est bon, ça.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
You know, next year, I must invite you to France. I return the compliment. You come, we have a very special dish with rabbit.
You inviting us?
Oh, it is difficult. 2 English girls to my home I cannot do. I can only take 1 girl, you see. Otherwise they say this is terrible man.
Well, that's all right. I mean, Gail's booked her holidays. I haven't.
You know, how can a man choose between 2 such girls? It is the judgment of Paris. Impossible.
Well, you could try. I mean, she's a rat bag, really.
Well, you know, I think I am lucky to be here. Because, how you say, I think I have cracked it. Bit of wine? Santé, hein?
Bye-bye, love.
Bye-bye.
Oh, excuse me. I say, have you got a minute? Just wondering when our front bedroom's likely to get finished.
I shouldn't think it'll get finished till we get down to finishing it.
Well, you know, you've just left half the job done. I mean, the paper peeled off and the wood primed.
Now, it's the secret of a good job, Squire. The preparation.
Yeah, I dare say, yes, but, you know, it's not the thing you want to lie in bed looking at longer than is necessary. I just want the job finished, that's all. Surely that's not unreasonable.
I'll tell you what. We'll be in later.
How can we do?
I mean, you'll want full payment, won't you, when the job's done? I mean, you don't want half the money now and the rest sometime never?
Very true, Squire. We'll be in later.
No, that's definite.
Definite.
Right.
Now, Bernie, you want to watch out. There's a couple of Humphreys about.
Get knotted.
Yeah, and you.
Roger. Morning. Did you sleep well?
Yes, I sleep well.
Slept. We say slept.
I slept well.
Brought you a cup of tea.
Oh, thank you. What time it is?
You must say, what time is it? We've got to get these things right, haven't we?
Oh. What time is it?
It's going on for 8:30. On your last day here.
Ah. So it is my last lesson, huh? I bet you teach me a lot.
Bet there's some things I couldn't teach you anything about.
Come on.
Never mind. What am I doing now? I'm sitting on the bed.
Yes, that is very good thing.
You're supposed to say it after me.
Where is Susie?
We don't want to talk about Susie.
Oh, no. I say this because wherever you go, she goes.
Yeah, she does tag on a bit. She's downstairs cooking breakfast.
Oh.
Shows how well in you are. Gives us time for a bit of special coaching.
Oh, yes, because I must learn English. Useful.
How about this? How do you manage to look so handsome and sexy first thing in the morning?
Well, this is secret, but I tell. Yes? I will whisper in your ear. Come closer. Eh? Come closer.
You know what? Come on, Roger, show a leg.
Don't you pick a moment.
Come on, Roger, show a leg. How long does it take you to give him a cup of tea? Have you been feeding him with a spoon?
Just got talking, that's all.
You've been on the couch, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Well, Well, seeing as how he did invite one of us to France, and today is his last day, we'd just like you to try and wangle it. Oh, hello, Roger, love. I've made you a traditional English breakfast.
Bon.
English, Roger?
Oh, yes, good.
What's traditional about burnt bacon? It is not burnt. It is just well done, and your egg got broke.
Why, my egg? Did it have my name on shell or something?
Well, I wasn't going to give Roger a broken egg, was I? Now get stuck in, love.
Come on.
She means, would you care to start?
Oh, listen to Lady Muck.
Just don't want him getting into bad habits, that's all.
You got all posh you when you're after something.
Susie, can I ask a question to you?
Oh, be my guest.
This morning, when you shout at me, say, show me your leg. Was it serious?
Well, you could if you like. I mean, I bet they're worth looking at.
It's just slang, Roger. For get out of bed. She uses a lot of slang, her.
Oh, I write this down, huh? And when I go home, I will be very vernacular.
Well, whatever turns you on.
What is turn on?
Well, I could explain, but not with her here.
Sad about you going home, Roger.
Yes, I have enjoyed you two girls.
I don't think you've enjoyed us. Well, speaking for myself, that is. But what you mean is you've enjoyed meeting us.
And we've enjoyed meeting you. And it's not the end of a friendship, is it? Not if one of us comes over to visit you. I've always fancied France.
Oh, so have I. You know, it's one of those places I've always fancied visiting.
Yes, you will love it. It is very beautiful.
Yeah, but, who?
Which one?
Two beautiful girls like you. It is very difficult. Very difficult.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, love. Daddy. Oi! You're not knocking off, are you?
Ask him, missus. He's the boss.
Are you finishing?
Yes, love.
Well, it's not dinner time yet. I mean, it's only 11:30.
Never put a stopwatch on a craftsman, love, not if you want good work.
Hey, Fred. Them decorators are knocking off. I mean, it's only 11:30. It's never going to get finished at this rate.
Hey, it looks all right now.
And here it does, certainly. We should see inside the house. It's a right tip. And Mrs. Walker's due back tomorrow.
She's not going to like it, Betty.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If these decorators don't soon shape themselves, they're not going to need any more paint stripper. Mrs. Walker's comments will do the job for them.
You could be right.
Bonjour, mon ami. Comment ça va?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Fair to Middleton, me old cock sparrow.
Fair to. We have not done this, I think.
No, we've not, no. It's a bit advanced anyway, and it wouldn't be much use to you in any other part of the civilised world. Are you having a drink?
Yes, this is why I come here.
A pint, is it? That's about half a litre to you. We have mild, bitter, stout and lager.
No, thank you. Orange juice at this time.
Very wise. How is your English coming along, generally?
Oh, very well. Everyone is so kind to me.
What about your homework? Did you do the exercise I suggested?
Oh, yes, I have it here. Would you like to read it?
Yes, I would, love. Very good practice for you, you know.
Yes.
Writing a love letter.
Yes.
You never know when you might need one. My most cherished, adorable darling, since meeting you, I am over my heels in passion.
This is mistake, I think.
There's nothing wrong with this, love. When I see your wondrous eyes, I swoon in my internal self, because your eyes are like windows. Through them I see the beautiful flower of you. You don't need any more English lessons, love.
No?
You need something putting in your tea.
It does, doesn't it?
Right, Bo! Right, Bo!
Hey, hang on a minute, look. You go on in the pub. There's somebody here I want to straighten out.
Hey, don't go causing any bother, love.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
It's called painting, Sonny. It's a job for a skilled man. You wouldn't know that.
Don't get clever with me, mate. Listen, we put in for that job you're doing, me and Len Fairclough.
You didn't get it, though, did you?
You got no rights to the job. You've already got a job working full-time for the brewery.
Well, push off, Langton. I put in a lower price for the job, and that's all there is to it, so stop bellyaching.
Yeah, I could have put a lower price in if somebody was paying me a full week's wages for skiving. You want to go moonlighting, mate? Do it in your own time, eh?
Get stuffed. Do you know what your trouble is? You can't stand being beaten.
Oh, who's beaten? Not me, mate. Oh, no. Not by a long chalk. You'll see.
Hey, I got you a pint in, mate.
Listen, I've got news for you two. You know Ernie Bishop's having his place decorated? Well, guess who's doing it? The fellows who are working on this place.
What, Morris, what's his name, and his apprentice?
That's right, I just come past and seen them. You know we put in for that job, don't you?
Oh, it's only a piddling little job, that, mate.
Well, that's not the point, is it? They're a couple of cowboys, that lot. They're taking our bread and butter.
Well, that's life, innit? You can't blame a fella for moonlighting, can you?
Oh, leave it, Ray, for goodness sake.
Look, you're not thinking about it, you two. Not only are they stealing our livelihood, but they're getting paid double bubble for doing it.
How'd you make that out?
Well, they're on wages from the brewery, right, so they're drawing money for doing this place up, but they're not, are they? They're busy doing a foreigner around at Ernie Bishop's.
Like I say, that's life. Get your beer down here.
Yeah, cool it, Ray, and have a drink.
You're getting soft in your old age, you two. Well, I'm not.
Look, I'm putting it as simply as I can. I thought you were supposed to be able to speak English.
I'm trying to learn, yes.
Yes, you are. Very trying. Now, I'll go through it once again. Look. In the pool, you got two lots, right? You got the Reds, giants among men, and the other lot, the Toffees, right?
Excuse me.
Toffees, well, they call them that because that's where the ground is, you see, Everton. Everton Mints. You must have heard of them, even abroad. Toffee. You know, Toffee, what you froggies can't play for.
Hey, shall I be his interpreter?
Yes, please.
Well, he's talking to a lot of cobblers on the subject of football, you know. Now, listen, have you heard of Georgie Best or Bobby Charlton?
Well, I have heard of Queen's Park Rangers.
I'm talking about footballers, not a load of airy bally dancers.
Here we are, Newton and Ridley.
Len, will you talk a bit of sense
I
into
wouldn't
him?
if I were you, mate.
Just drop it, Ray.
Well, I Ella's like. Hello, Newton and Ridley, maintenance department, please. Oh, hello, my name is Langton of Fairclough and Langton, and I'm ringing about putting an estimate for decorating the Flying Horse pub in Jubilee Terrace. Oh, you have your own men for painting and decorating, do you? I see. Well, how about us doing up the Rover's Return for you, then? Oh, they're doing that right now, are they? Well, now, mate, I've got some news for you, because your flaming decorators, what are supposed to be decorating your pubs, are busy doing a foreigner at number 3 Coronation Street. Yes, right at this minute. Taking the bread out of the mouths of people like me will have to work for a living.
Are you satisfied now?
You've really started something now.
You reckon? I think I've finished something.
It's us, Roger! Roger, are you up there? No sign.
Well, he didn't definitely say be coming back at dinner time, did he?
Said we should have pinned him down.
That thought has crossed my mind more than once.
Yeah, well, we better get some dinner in case. Put kettle on. I'll make some toast. We can have some pilchards on top.
All right, love. Hey, do you fancy him, kid?
Yeah, of course I do. So do you. It's dead obvious, so don't deny it.
Well, you can talk the way you go throwing yourself at him. But do you think you're making any headway?
Well, he hasn't said anything, but... No, to be honest. Why do you reckon he fancies you?
Well, sometimes he looks at me from under his eyelashes and that. But no, to be quite honest.
He must be doing something wrong. Hey, you're my best friend, aren't you? There ain't something I ought to know that even you won't tell me.
No. Hey, how about me?
No. Do you reckon he just don't fancy girls?
No, Mother Nature wouldn't go into all that trouble, would she? What a waste.
Voila. I have been to Jackson's Chip and Fish Shop. And I have bought fish, chips, and peas thrice.
3 times, you can't say thrice.
Why is this?
Oh.
For 2 times you say twice.
Never mind, just give them to me and I'll put them on plates this time.
You're getting very fond of fish and chips, aren't you?
I have had the bad ones and the good ones. It is like eating the tires of bicycles.
Hey, do you know I've had a thought? Do you reckon it's this food that's putting him off his French fancies?
How can what he eats makes any difference?
Well, you know they say it's French food what makes French fellas fast.
You've over the eat snails. How can eating snails make you fast?
Say, what is this you are talking, huh?
Oh, never mind, love. Just grown-up talk.
See
Seen Langton?
Mind what you're doing with that door. You're denting your own paintwork.
Sod the flaming paintwork. We've just been sacked, me and young Gary.
Sacked?
Fired, finished up, stopped. Our bus just came down from the brewery 10 minutes ago and he knew exactly where to look. Your house.
What's he talking about? Do you know?
Well, they're working at our house, you know, decorating.
We're supposed to be decorating here.
Look, somebody shopped us and I'm bloody sure I know who. Where's Langton?
Look, he ain't here, mate, so just stop shouting your gob off, will you?
Where is Langton?
He'll be down at their yard now, just the back of Moseley Street. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, I do.
Trust you, Yates. You never miss a chance of dropping Ray Langton in it.
Oh, no. Langton drops himself in it. I just like listening to the splash.
You always dive in head first. You lose your temper and then you don't stop to think what you're doing.
All right, I bet I lost my temper. But if I'd had a week to think about it, I'd still have done it.
I doubt it, mate.
Oh, it was a bit strong, though, Ray. I mean, ringing up the brewery. I mean, what you did, to all intents and purposes, was informing on them two blokes.
Well, so what? They had it coming, didn't they?
I'm with Deirdre, you know. I think you were a bit nasty, that's all.
Oh, you're on Flaming Morris's side.
Ah,
now,
my
yeah?
hellers, like, I don't like the bloke any more than you do. I just think that your retaliation was a bit over the top.
Exactly. You went too far, Ray.
I mean, ringing up his flaming boss, it's like taking a shotgun to a mouse.
A rat more like what Morris and that kid was doing was stealing, just as much as if they put their hand in the till.
All right, so he's a cheeky beggar,
If
yeah?
he wants to set up on his own, let him show he's got the guts. Let them jack the jobs in and do it proper.
You sure he'll have the option after what you've done?
Oh, he's not going to get fired. Nobody gets fired nowadays. Yeah, hello, if it isn't the lightning decorator himself.
Was it you tipped the brewery off, Langton?
What brewery? What are you talking about?
It was, wasn't it? It was you. You flaming creep.
Hey, don't come crashing your weight about in here, mate.
You shopped us.
All right. What if I did? What about it?
What about it? You got me and young Gary the sack. You're a bastard, Langton.
Get lost. You had it coming. Doing another job in the firm's time, what did you expect? If you want to set up on your own, mate, take the risk like me and him had to. Or are you too yeller? Ah, you'd rather screw a boss. Not to mention us.
I see, that's it. You reckon we nick your work?
Yes, that's right.
So you got on the blower to the brewery?
That's right.
That's enough. Now, cool it, Ray. You're not thumping anybody in my yard, so just forget it, eh?
You reckon you can stop me?
Yes, I do.
Ah, let him try it if
Ray.
he wants to.
Beat it. Go on, beat it, I mean it.
I'll get you for this, Langton. Don't you worry.
He means that, you know. Just watch him.
Well, I hope you're satisfied. You've got a couple of fellas the sack and you've made yourself a couple of enemies.
Don't expect me to feel sorry for them two blokes, because I don't. And his threats don't bother me neither. If it all happened again, I'd do exactly the same thing.
Good evening, ladies. As you see, I prepare to leave. Hein?
Yeah, we can see that.
I do my bagage.
Oh, I think you should say luggage. You wouldn't use baggage. You use that word for something else.
Yeah, like we're called a couple of baggages sometimes.
That is very nice thing for ladies.
Well, it's all right if you're young, but we don't want to go into a pair of old bags.
You know, I know it is for joking, but I am sorry to leave.
Yeah, we're sorry too, Roger. I put your socks through the laundrette this afternoon.
You're very kind to me. I did not know where they were.
Well, at least your mum won't have a great pile to wash when you get home. She'll know you're being looked after.
Yes. This case I close later because it is difficult.
Oh, and I got you something. A present. It's a pen. So you got no excuse for not writing.
That's if you mean it, about inviting one of us.
Of course I mean it.
Yeah, but which one?
Because we're both very keen.
Well,
I am anyway.
I am very keen.
Which one? It is very difficult. Huh? I think I invite you both.
Do you mean it?
Yes, of course.
Oh, that's smashing.
You know, there is room for both. My mother will be very pleased to meet you, and my brother Jacques too.
Well, let's go and celebrate.
Yeah, we'll treat you.
No, we will go to Rover's return, and I will treat you too. Yes? You will like my brother Jacques.
Oh, blow your brother Jack. You're all right.
Oh, don't be too impetuous, you. His brother Jax might be more all right.
Well, he is.
Well, it's time I was at the Rovers. It's 6:15, you know, I'll get shot. Hey up, I know those amazing feet. It's Weatherfield's answer to Sherlock Holmes.
Are you going somewhere?
Yeah, to work.
Well, hang on a minute. Got a bit of news that might interest you. It's about your two boyfriends.
I do we should stop calling them our two boyfriends. As far as I'm concerned, they want locking up.
That's the news.
You mean you've got them?
Hey, that's quick work. I thought you hadn't got a clue.
Yeah, well, we didn't nick them round here. They got nicked in Stoke.
Well, it couldn't happen to two nicer fellas.
Bit brighter than you lot around here, are they, the Stoke Bobbies?
Fair dues. Between you and me, it was a stroke of luck. They got stopped for a traffic offence.
Parked on a double yellow line, were they? Well, it serves them right.
Now, it was a bit more serious than that. They were drunk.
Drunk? I suppose on my booze.
Could be, because there wasn't much of it left.
Great. Great!
But what's it matter? The insurance company will still pay up, won't they?
I suppose so. Very grudgingly. I don't think the insurance company rate my social life very much, taking it with two strange fellas.
Well, why don't you try doing something about it?
Sure you won't let me?
I'll bet.
Cheeky.
Anyway, I'm on my way to Stoke now to pick them up. I just thought I'd drop in and give you the news. Any messages for them?
Oh, yes. Tell them we'll still be waiting for them. With a big hammer.
Right. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Don't say it.
I won't. I still love you. Just.
Cheers.
All you wish yourself. Down that.
Donuts up bottom.
Roger.
Oh, don't spoil it, Gail. Hey, I was just saying to Gail, you've got on very well with your English, haven't you?
Yes, I have done well. Not good, well.
Yeah, when you get back to France, your friends will be really impressed.
You know, I have done a good trick on Eddie. I have done a good bargain. I have teach him rude French word, and he has teach me rude English word.
Trust Eddie Yates. What is the rudest word he taught you?
Oh, I cannot say. It is bad.
Oh, go on, we'll not be shocked.
Okay, if you will not be shocked. Blinking heck. It's bad, huh?
Oh, that's shocking.
I was hoping I might bump into you in here. Oh, well, what's the matter? Well, it's all this business of Morris and his apprentice. You know, I feel responsible in a way. I mean, they offered to do the job at our house, and we accepted.
He quoted a much cheaper price than you did, you see, and, well, the money is an item.
Don't worry about it. No, but I feel it's the cause of all the trouble. You know, he was in here looking for you, you know.
Yeah, I know he found me.
Oh, dear, I hope he didn't cause any trouble, Ray.
Not him. They're all the same, that sort. They're all talk. Listen, about your decorating, I suppose you want me and Len to finish it off for you?
If you would, it looks so bad, just half a job.
I don't think we can do that, love. I mean, I've got the sack from the brewery, but as far as we know, they're still working at our house.
But I've told you, you'll not see him again. All mouth.
Well, let's just leave it for a day or two. See which way the wind blows, eh?
Suit yourself.
Come on, we'll see you to the station.
Yes, and I will see you in August, in Lyon.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Are you leaving us now, Roger?
Yes, so I will say Tara Chuck.
Au revoir, mon petit.
Ta-ra, Chuck. Au revoir, Mum, what? Hey, just where else have you been getting your English lessons round here?
Hello, Robert's return. You what? Blooming heck, you must be joking. Well, can't you slip us a quickie on this afternoon? Well, that's a big help. Thank you very much. Blimey.
What's to do?
It's the brewery. There's no delivery tomorrow.
It's going to make it a bit awkward. Why not?
Them decorators that got the push. All the rest of them come out on strike in sympathy with them.
Who's on strike, Fred?
Dreaming the flipping lot. They've all come out in sympathy with them decorators that got the push.
Well, they won't be delivering them, will they?
I know, but what about us with valuing a beer down in this cellar?
Well, Mrs. Walker's not going to be very pleased when she comes back tomorrow to find a pub with no ale.
I hope you're satisfied, mate.
Well, I didn't tell the dreamer to go on strike. Won't be my fault if pub runs out of ale. Will it?
You're out of condition, that's what's up with you.
Don't just stand there telling me I'm out of condition when I get down that cellar.
Oh, no. Ladies don't have to lift heavy weights.
Oh, who says?
I do. I mean, I should know I am one.
You're a flaming nag.
Now, that's something that I have never been. As a matter of fact, my Cyril always used to tell his pals that.
Aye.
What do you think you're doing?
Take in 5 minutes, pick a couple of winners. Any objections?
Yeah, plenty. I mean, there's a bit of lemon still to come up. Have some ginger ale. Hey, while we're on about it, I don't think Mrs. Sharples would fancy sitting on her chair while it's still on the table.
You're not a nag, are you?
That's what I said.
You're a flipping slave driver, you are. I say, Betty,
What?
that strike's beginning to bite, love.
Sure.
Down to the last barrel before the drought starts.
The ladyship isn't going to be too pleased.
Ah, well, I can't see Stan Ogden exactly dancing round the maypole.
No.
And a few others I can mention.
They'll go mad.
Mind you, we're not to blame.
No.
If anybody's to blame, it's that flipping Langton. He blew the gaff on them brewery painters.
I can't make two penn'orth of sense out of it. I mean, look, they sacked 2 painters. So all the chaps that go to make the beer, they go on strike. I mean, what's it got to do with them?
Well, that's solidarity, Betty.
Solid bone more like it. Still, I suppose it's a bit like this place. They go on strike for a bit of excitement.
Bit of excitement. It's a bit of excitement.
Get off. Now, see, hey, if you want to wrestle with them chairs. Get rid of them bottles and all that I've seen you sneaking upstairs to your room, or she'll have you.
Hey.
What?
Are you still wearing the marmor-plated corset?
Hey, get off, do you mind?
I'll say, it isn't only a beer drought round here, I know. It's a decorating drought. Last thing Mrs. Walker said to me when I chucked her bags in that car, she said, Fred, she said, what a joy it'll be to return to a newly decorated public house.
Stunning, eh?
Newly decorated, newly flipping stripped maybe through there.
Aye, it's one thing after another, isn't it? It's 9 o'clock and all. And no Hilda.
That is a distinct advantage, love.
Hey, watch what you're doing, will you?
What am I doing?
Hit me with that thing.
Oh, well, shift then.
I can't shift, I'm saving.
Now listen to me, Stanley Ogden, and look at me when I'm talking to you. If I had a washing machine like other women have nowadays, you could shave till you was blue in the face. 'Cause I'd just be pressing buttons, wouldn't I? Not this blooming hard labour. And look at that. Can't even afford a proper flaming posser.
You can't get them nowadays.
I know you can't, you daft devil. And you know why, don't you? 'Cause the rest of the world's got civilised, that's why.
Not all of it isn't. You think yourself lucky you got a bath, I'll tell you. You don't get baths in equatorial Africa.
No, you don't get fat bellies neither. They have pygmies. And stop changing the subject. Why can't I have a washing machine?
Why don't you go to work?
Oh, I see. I might have guessed. If you want anything, Hilda, get out and work for it. Other women's husbands might buy them the necessities of life, but not the fat lump you picked.
Watch it, I've got a razor in my hand.
Just you try it.
I wish you'd be serious for once in a while. I happen to be talking about Bernadette Farrell, who we watched getting married 3 months ago and whose husband's just left her.
Well, think about it mathematically. There's you, and according to the latest count, there's 25 million fellas in the British Isles. Now, it can't be easy to pick right one first time. It's not easy.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, and it's me that's not supposed to take things seriously round here.
Anybody home?
Who left that front door open?
Must have been when I went to get the milk. What are you doing back at this time?
Never mind what I'm doing back at this time. Supposing I'd been a psychotic killer or something.
I thought you were. What are you doing home at this time?
I got a letter from a rep who had to be in Manchester early. Too flaming early. Oh, I'm whacked. And it'd look better for you if you'd offer me a pot of tea or something, instead of sitting there staring at me as if I'm something not right.
Oh, sorry, Elsie. We're in a rush, honest. We've only just seen the town. We'll get shot. Hey, it's Andy Walker's car out here. Come on, you never know your luck.
Ah, what a shame. We could have made you a nice cooked breakfast. Go on, up it.
Well, we see you later. You can tell us all about it.
Welcome home, Elsie.
Not by any chance. Really? The laziness of modern youth. Can I give them a lift to the Western Front? Not 2 minutes walk away. Hello. Welcome home, Mrs. Walker. Thank you, dear.
Hi. Welcome home, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you, Fred.
I'll go get your bag.
If you would. Well, now, isn't this nice?
Made quite a nice job of it, haven't they?
Haven't they just?
Yes.
The edges could be a bit neater. Still, it's clean, and that's the main thing. You know, I really think sandpapering must be going out of fashion.
Rough, is it? I haven't noticed.
When Jack and I first came here, the brewery sent a Mr. Rowlands to supervise the decorating. Now, there was a craftsman. Every surface was sandpapered as smooth
as a baby's bottom.
Well, I was going to say silk, actually. Still, one mustn't grumble. It's done after a fashion, but it's done. As I was saying, Fred.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred, I was just saying the last thing I said to you before I went away was how lovely it would be to come back when everything was finished and that dreadful smell of paint was out of the way.
I did, Mrs. Walker.
Well, now, what's the news? I hope you don't think too badly of me, dear, running off and leaving you to bear the brunt of all the upset. 'Tis a bit naughty, isn't it, to come back when everything's shipshape?
No, Mrs. Walker.
No, I suppose not. I'm in a privileged position when all's said and done. Well, now, what's the news?
Well, it's not very good, actually, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, well, it's the bishops, you see, wanting this decorating done, actually.
The bishops?
Yes.
Aye, brewery decorators did it for him as a sort of a foreigner-like, you know.
Yeah, and Ray Langton found out.
Yeah, he shopped them and they got the push.
Oh, dear. They weren't the best of workmen. Still, it's not the happiest time to lose one's job, is it? No.
That's not all, Mrs. Walker.
Oh.
No.
Well, you see, Mrs. Walker, the rest of the brewery came out on strike in sympathy. There's no beer, Mrs. Walker. We've got half a barrel left.
Oh, well. I knew she'd take it like... Didn't I say, Fred, she'd take it like that? Oh, bless her.
Well, it could be worse, couldn't it? I mean, they could have brought the painters out and sacked them before they'd finished our decorating. Bring the bags through, will you, Fred? One day I will come back from a few days' well-earned rest, and the labours of a lifetime will lie in rubble at my feet. What have I done?
What do you reckon?
Oh, she's told you 6 times already.
Look, you mind your own business. If you don't like waiting, go somewhere else. I'll have that one.
What? Is that what I'm hanging about for? For you to buy one rotten can of ale?
Look, let's just stand by in it. That's emergency rations, that is, for when beer runs out.
Thought you drank rum. You always do when I'm paying.
Yeah, well, I drink rum when I can afford it.
Or when somebody else can.
Now, look, I never judge a gift by what it costs. It's the giving what counts. And any road price of a rum to some folk means nought. But to me, it's a luxury class. When I have a drop of rum, I've got to give up another luxury, like corned beef.
Nay, Albert, corned beef for luxury?
Have you seen the price of corned beef lately?
Well, I never thought I'd live to see the day when corned beef were a luxury.
Well, there's a lot of things happening that I never thought I'd live to see. Especially as I give up 4 years of my life to make this place a better place to live in and get out of me road.
How about that, then?
Definitely a sign of a misspent youth.
Oh, on the contrary, I had a very dull youth. If anything, I'm misspending my old age.
Well, it's a worthy pursuit, Squire. A very worthy pursuit. Having another?
Oh, yes, let's have another half a bitter, please.
A genuine shaft of wit. Another half a bitter. Ranking with the very best from the smoke room of the Mucky Duck for Zachary. I was referring to another game of arrows, but 9 out of 10 for a good try.
I wasn't trying anything. I was just claiming my winnings. I thought we were playing for a... Weren't we?
Well, ask yourself, Squire. Would I gamble with a man of your religious persuasion? I wouldn't insult you. 301, nearest the bull starts.
So it tends to be the rule that the more obscure the origins of a strike, the longer it lasts.
Oh, dear.
I honestly think it's possible for both sides to forget how it started. So they just sit and glower each other for 6 months trying to remember.
But Ken, I want cheering up. Len, tell him he's wrong.
I would if I could, love, but he's not.
But surely it's a straightforward issue.
Annie, love, there is no such thing as a straightforward issue in industry these days.
I suppose you wouldn't consider taking on the job?
Annie, much as I love you, the answer's no.
At the best, that would be unethical, and at the worst, blatant blacklegging, particularly as...
It's all right, it has been brought to my notice. Particularly as the whole sorry for Webb was the fault of your irresponsible partner.
That's just one of those things, Annie.
And one of those things we could do without. Like Ernest Bishop, who is supposed to be a friend of mine, employing brewery labour to do his cheap work for him.
Did I hear my name mentioned?
Back to your dart, sir.
Well, if it isn't the travelling sales.
Less of the funny talk, Fairclough. It's bad enough being back among the peasants.
Oh dear, I'm a peasant.
I knew it. I never did believe all that aristocratic stuff, did you?
Would you like me to buy you a drink, Mrs. Hart? Said she, turning the other cheek.
Yes, I would, Mrs. Walker, said she, never looking a gift horse in the mouth. A gin and tonic, please.
You're on good form, aren't you?
Isn't she, Jess? Set the northeaster light, have you?
Yes, well, as a matter of fact, I did, actually. You see, what are you doing here?
I'm on my dinner break. Haven't you heard? We've had them for years.
Have you now? Well, don't interrupt when I'm talking. No, I didn't exactly set them alight, but they did listen to me. And I got 1 or 2 orders, one of them a good one in anyone's language. So, here's the good life. The posh car, the posh hotels. Cheers.
There's a fella in every port.
Oh, it gets more attractive by the minute. Yeah.
She with then? Len Fairclough and Ken Barlow.
Oh. Well, shape yourself and get back to work.
I'll have you know I'm on my dinner hour. It's you that should be working.
I'll be a sport, kid. He comes out the electricity showroom dead on 1 o'clock. He smiled at me yesterday.
If you plant yourself outside the electricity showrooms every dinner time, I'm surprised you don't fall over.
I sit on a form. I'm entitled to sit on a form. He walks past his way to that pizza place.
Why don't you wait in the pizza place if he's that marvellous?
Because that'd be too pushing. He's going to speak to me today. I've got this feeling. Hey, I wonder what he'll say.
Anybody in?
So, could you get me half a dozen pair of white drill hot pants? I would get them myself, but I can't leave the shop because Miss... Oh, hello, Mr. Baldwin.
Hello, Miss Virgil. What a surprise seeing me.
Yeah, I was just going.
Thought perhaps you might be.
She says, can we have half a dozen pair of white drill hot pants?
Certainly. If I catch you both out the shop at the same time, you can have hot behinds to go with them. Right, where's Elsie? Is she back yet?
Yeah, she got back first thing.
Ah.
Not exactly first thing.
You're not exactly having a happy 5 minutes, are you? Where is she?
Rovers.
Right then. What about this northern hospitality? Aren't you going to make me a cup of tea or something?
Well, I'll have to brew a fresh pot.
That's not beyond the bounds of human ingenuity, is it?
No.
How did she do? Did she say?
Oh, yeah, very well. She got some good orders. She said they all listened to her.
Well, I should hope they did. They're just going up there if they're going to ignore her.
No, seriously, I think she enjoyed it. What she was saying, I think she'd like to do it full time.
Oh, would she?
I see. So that means there won't be any more deliveries until this wretched strike is over. No, I'm sure you don't. However, as I gaze round my hall, Mr. Harrop, I do trust that you can end this storm in a teacup as quickly as possible. No, some of us really don't enjoy living in hovels. I trust you will. Goodbye, Mr. Harrop.
Everything all right, Mrs. Walker?
Oh, certainly everything's all right. We may have to live like this for many more months to come. Beer rationing is just around the corner. The stupid have inherited the earth. But everything is fine, fine.
Beer rationing?
Shh. Don't say anything, I'll choose my moment.
I would dream of it, Mrs. Walker. That was a lovely bit of braising steak.
Yes. Well, here, Elizabeth, you will always enjoy a lovely bit of braising steak, because this is a sane oasis in a mad, mad world.
What does it take to please you?
Look, it sounds great. An order from Marshall's was just what I wanted, but don't go running away. But the idea that one swallow makes a summer. It's not your job.
Well, what did you send me there for?
It was your idea. You were going to Newcastle anyway.
Yeah, Anna did a good job. You know, you've got something against women, you have. You don't think we can do the job. It's that flaming male ego.
All right, let's keep it down, shall we? We don't want the whole world to know our business, do we? Look, you're a novelty. It was a nice change for the boys in the rag trade to look at a good pair of legs. But what happens when the novelty wears off? That's when you need the boss man there, the one that can say yes or no there and then. So if there's any big selling to be done, I'm the one to do it.
You're a plausible devil, you.
Tell you what, darling, if you could win arguments like this, I'd be working for you.
Could I have a little order, please?
Half a bit of Mrs. Walker.
I only wish that it were fun, Eddie. Now, as many of you already know, we're in the grip of a brewery strike, and I have just been informed there will be no more deliveries for the foreseeable future. So I very much regret to say that we shall probably have to introduce beer rationing.
Oh.
Now, I'll let you know the details as we get them. Thank you.
Yeah, that's Cows. She sounded just like Winston Churchill at his erudite best.
Might have sounded like Winston Churchill to you. She sounded like the voice of doom to me.
Ah, Mr. Langton. What a pity you missed my announcement. Beer rationing is due, owing to the actions of some of our more public-spirited citizens. I don't know why I don't ban you.
There's no need for that, Mrs. Walker. As soon as the ale runs out, I'll be off like a shot. In the meantime, I'll have a pint.
I'm telling you, it's the gospel truth.
You're joking.
I heard it with my own ears.
But it can't be true. It can't.
Wish it wasn't, Stan. I cut my right arm off.
What's happened?
When? Did they say?
What's happened?
They didn't know, not exactly.
Eddie, what is it?
Beer rationing, any day.
Oh, you daft devil, I thought somebody died.
Somebody? Hilda, the world as we know it has died.
What are we gonna do?
Just look at you, the pair of you. I'll tell you what to do if the beer's so flaming important. Get up off your fat backsides, go out and earn some money and buy yourselves a brewery. Ooh.
Hey. What? She's not as daft as she's cabbage looking. Come on.
Hey? Look, I've just got to pop over and see Ken. Can I pick it up on my way
Yes,
back?
of course you can. You can pay then and all.
Yes, fine.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Annie.
Hello.
£20 of invert sugar, please.
Pardon?
£20 of invert sugar.
Inverted sugar? I haven't seen that for years. I don't know where you'll get it from. Try Health Food Shop.
We'll take ordinary then.
Aye, ordinary'll do.
£20? Now, you're not expecting tick, are you?
Strictly cash.
What do you want £20 of sugar for?
We've got sweet teeth.
You know what they say. If you stir somebody else's tea, you're going to have a row with them.
Oh, don't you start. I've had enough with Baldwin.
Ah, come on, you're a big girl now. You can see it from his point of view.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And apart from that, do you enjoy the trip?
Fine.
Did you bump into our mutual friend, did you?
And who might that be?
You know damn well I'm talking about your loving husband.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. We went out together once or twice.
Did you indeed? Has he finished with that woman, the one who came down here?
I suppose he must have done. Never said out about it.
You're a deep one, you, aren't you? If I hadn't mentioned him, you wouldn't have brought him up.
I don't know. I might have done.
Pleasant, was it?
Yeah. Yes, as a matter of fact, we had one or two laughs together.
That must have made a change. Oh, all right, I know my place, yeah. What's he doing for a living now?
Oh, same thing as usual. Garage manager. He seems to have settled down very nicely.
In every way?
Yeah, I think so, in every way.
Clever lad, Alan.
Is he?
He was always way ahead of me and the Andrew. And he built a business up.
Went bankrupt, didn't he?
Ah, but in style. He did it with style, didn't he? And he got you. That takes a bit of doing.
Oh, aye. He got me. For a while.
Well, whose fault was that?
Don't push it.
No, I'm interested. I mean, who showed who the door?
Look, don't push it, I said.
Hey, I'm a friend of yours.
I don't care how much of a friend you are. Look, mind your own damn business. That's all in things that don't concern you.
I told you, didn't I? It's that flaming temper of yours. You shouldn't have stirred my tea.
I'm sorry.
Hey. I'm your pal.
I know.
The one who proposed to you once, do you remember?
The day that Kennedy died.
The day that Kennedy died, yeah.
Len, it can get better, can't it?
I'm sure it can.
No, I mean, it can get better because it's got better for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it does, yeah. And what I can do, you surely can. Hey, answer me one question, love. Will you have him back? You hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard what you said. I was just thinking. If you'd have asked me that question before I went to Newcastle, before I saw him, I would have said no without thinking. But now I think.
Oh, blow this for a game of soldiers. I know I save a bob or two going to the supermarket, but every time takes 6 months off my life. Still, I don't suppose you'll argue with that, will you? Stan? Stan? Stanley?
I'm up here in the bathroom.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You're never having a bath.
Mind your own business.
By heck, that I've got to see.
Looks very tasty, that. Very tasty.
What the flipping heck?
Doing you a favour, Hilda. Mrs. Walker's in there, just about to go down the plug hole.
The old plumbing lot can go down.
Don't touch her, there's money in it.
Where's me washing? Where's me washing?
There's your washing, you daft devil.
Take the credit, Hilda. It was your idea. Get yourself a brewery, you said, and no sooner said than done. Ogden and Yates, Silver Jubilee Ales.
Do not worry if your beer is not absolutely clear. If your beer is thin through lack of starch, add flake maize or cornflakes to the brew. Hey,
That really going to work?
Of course it's gonna work.
Can I just ask one question?
Go on, no charge.
When can I have a bath?
Oh, don't worry, Hilda. We'll be out long before Christmas.
Aye. How did he like it?
Who?
That French lad that you had stopping here last week.
How did you know about that?
Oh, come on, love, I've got friends around here.
It's only a lodger, Elsie.
Oh, how much did you charge him?
£1 a day.
Oh, I would have charged him £3 a day. Let's see, that's 5 days. £3 a day, that's 15 quid, Jomi.
You don't mean it?
No.
Oh, thank God we're skinned. Oh, I'll go. What's wrong with your tea, anyway?
Everything. Still, it's wet. I might try some.
No wonder you couldn't keep your husbands. Did you complain every time they brewed up?
Probably. And how did that French lad like your tea?
Oh? No, it's paper, I'm sorry. Were you expecting something?
No.
Oh, 'cause I thought that you thought it was something from the cold northeast. Only it's not so cold now, is it?
Did anybody ever tell you to keep your nose out of things that don't concern you?
We've a right to know whether we have a roof over our heads or not.
What are you on about?
Well, if you and him...
If me and him what?
Well, get it together. Yeah, 'cause if you do, me and her are on our bikes, ain't we?
What crystal ball have you been gazing
You
into?
said it.
I said what?
About you and Alan.
All I said was that we had a few nights out and a few laughs together.
Exactly.
Come on, Stanley, I want a witness for this great occasion.
I know, but is it ready?
That's just what we're going to find out. Look at all that lovely sup.
It doesn't look right to me.
Well, it looks like ale. It smells like ale. And it tastes like ale. That is a drop of good stuff, that, Stanley.
Is it good enough to sup a lot?
It's good enough to sell, mate. Here, try it.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it?
What's that, Uncle Albert?
I mean, this place has had anybody in.
Yeah.
Like walking around waxworks after they shut it. It gives you the creeps.
Yeah, well, a pub with no beer never was the most popular place for boozers, Chuck.
Well, you've still got some pub beer left, haven't you?
Oh, aye, but word soon gets round, you know. Newton and Ridley's are on strike. We're at Newton and Ridley's house. Don't take, two and two to come up with a lemon.
Well, one thing's for sure, it can't last forever.
What, the beer or the strike?
Both.
Depends who lasts out the longest.
Yeah.
Give us a couple of pints, up for 2 hard-working fellas, will you? Thank you.
Don't look too good, Mrs. Walker, not at the rate we're going.
There's nothing else for it, I suppose. 2 pints coming up. Cheers. I'm sorry, Len, but I'm afraid if you have a pint each now, you can't have any more until tonight.
You what?
Well, I'm very sorry, but in the interest of being fair to everybody, I have to impose a rationing system. 1 pint each per session.
We're nearly out, mate, honest.
Well, hang on, this is a pub, isn't it? And a pub is supposed to serve ale, any amount of ale.
I don't think you can complain, Mr. Langton, considering the part you played in bringing about the situation. You can have another pint tonight, of course, Len.
I better have a couple of halves then. I should hate to deprive Sunshine here of paying his corner.
Oh, come on, we'll go to Flying Horse.
Nah, make it a couple of halves, love.
Look, Mrs. Walker's dead right. I mean, you've got nothing to gripe at.
Hey, does that rationing apply to everybody?
There are no exceptions, Mr. Tatlock.
All right, thanks.
Well, what are you on about? You hardly ever drink beer.
I'm entitled to my ration.
Yeah, but if you don't want it...
Well, somebody else might.
Oh, I see. And they might be prepared to offer you over the odds for yours, is that
Well,
it?
that's up to them, isn't it?
Oh.
Have you a minute, Betty?
You know any more funny jokes like that?
Oh, good.
Good.
Well, it is to me. I want you to ask a favour.
Me?
Yeah. You're used to working in shop, aren't you?
Yeah, the shop? Yeah, why?
I thought you'd like a change of scenery.
In the shop?
Well, you see, I've had this letter from my mother.
Yeah.
She's heard from the hospital and she has to go in next week.
What's she heard? I mean, what's wrong with her?
Oh, well, it's her knee. She's been waiting ages to have an operation on it. She's been in agony for weeks. Operation's not much, but she's going to be laid up for 2 or 3 weeks, you see, and him that lives with her's not much cop, so...
So you'd like me to take over the shop while you go to Lancaster, is that it?
Can't think of anybody better.
Well, when do you have to know, lovey?
Oh, pretty quick, really. I mean, in order that we have to let the hospital know.
Yeah. Make a nice change from here. I don't know what Mrs. Walker would say, though.
What about it?
You tell her.
Well, I was just asking Betty, Mrs. Walker, if she could see a way to looking after the shop while I go up to look after my mother in Lancaster. She has to have this operation, you see. Not be more than a couple of weeks.
Only I said I'd have to ask you. You know, with the business being a little bit quiet now.
Strike can't last forever, Elizabeth. And then there's the little matter of holidays to consider as well, you know. One thing you'll discover, Miss Bradshaw, when you've been in business as long as I have, very trying.
Trying? Hasn't she just been away?
To their Jonies for the umpteenth time this year.
Lucky for some.
Yeah.
Half a dozen, please, Betty.
Right.
Scotch for the boss.
Okay.
So I'll get these. Whatever these two layabouts want as well.
Hey, that's the point, isn't it? Whose ration does that go on, his or ours?
Oh, I'm going to have to get a computer to keep check of all this lot.
Ration?
Yeah, 1 pint each. It's Mrs. Walker's idea, so that everybody will get the fair share, you know, before the ale runs out.
Oh, well, I'm all right then. I'll have a pint of scotch. Oh, come on, love. Give them pints, eh?
No, I can't, lovey. No, I'll have to get a ruling from Her Highness.
Yes, Hilda.
What's this about rationing?
1 pint per person and no exception for window cleaners with hollow legs.
Oh, you've nearly run out then, have you?
I've got Mrs. Walker sat down there and them barrels trying to squeeze the last drops out. What can I get you, love?
Nothing for now, thank you. I've just remembered something.
Just found that in the cludgy.
Oh, I wonder where that got to. What do we need all these for?
Well, if we're going to sell it, we can't expect the customers to sup out of their hands, can we? That'll do for filling them up.
How are we going to get down here?
In a bucket.
Here, Sam. I've just been in Rover's.
Oh, hey, the strike's not off, is it?
No, is it? It's like it's getting worse. They're rationing the ale.
That's the best news I've had since Monkey's missus fell off her broomstick. How much?
Pint at dinner, pint at night till it runs out.
They're playing right into our itchy fingers. We'll have a queue a mile long with their arms. Where are you going?
The Rovers. I'm entitled to my ration, aren't I?
Do you know, it's pure greed with your old man. Mind you, he has got a point. Look, you hang on here and look after the brew, Hilda, and stick one of Stanley's socks in it. It'll give it a bit of body.
Must go now, dear, I'm wanting. Oh, and Joni, love to everyone. Yes, Fred, what is it?
I've been down at cellar to check again, Mrs. Walker. Now, we're not going to last the night out, even with the rationing.
Well, nothing else for us, is there?
Wait, where are you going?
Not me, Fred, us. Come on. I'm not going to enjoy this, not one little bit. But what must be done, must be done.
Don't tell me. 1/4 dozen cans of beer.
You'll be lucky.
Bottle of scotch.
Getting warmer.
I know. You've come to whisk me off to a desert island where there's just you and me and a bunch of coconuts for the rest of our life.
Right, but the next bus doesn't go for half an hour, so I'll settle for me pies.
I'll put them away for you. Good thing I didn't know. Since this strike, my pie and drinks trade has rocketed through the roof.
Well, before you start looking for new premises, there's something you ought to know.
What?
It's off.
Strike?
Yeah, I just bumped into Ali Brooks. He drives for them. Mass meeting at 2 o'clock to endorse the peace formula.
Thought it too good to be true.
Well, I could always start another strike for you.
How much?
See me agent.
What's all this, Mrs. Walker? A deputation?
You do sell large cans of beer, do you, Miss Bradshaw, party size?
Best selection in the street, if I may say so, Mrs. Walker. You're not thinking of having a party, are you? I mean, you've nothing to celebrate.
Miss Bradshaw, this is an errand born out of personal necessity. I happen to have a band of customers who look on the Rover's Return as much more than just a public house. Much more. And I think it is up to me to provide them with something to drink until supplies get back to normal. However, if you're saying that you would rather I went somewhere...
Not at all, Mrs. Walker. I wasn't saying that at all. You can have all the beer you like.
Fred?
Right, Mrs. Walker.
It's an ill wind, isn't it?
Witherfield Double 825, hello. Oh, hello. No, she's not in. I'm expecting her back any minute. Yeah, of course I'll tell her you rang. How are you? Yeah, we're fine. Yeah. Tonight? Well, I should think that'll be all right. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. As soon as she comes in, I'll tell her you rang. And if it's not all right, she can ring you back, all right? Yeah, all right. Ta-ra. That you, Elsie?
Hi, me and Miss Robin's eat.
Put us some soup on, all right?
You may not come in or something.
No, she's waylaying that guy from electricity showrooms again. Don't talk to you now, just walk straight past. Still, she'll not be told. You've just missed a phone call.
Oh? Who from?
Yes?
Oh, come on, girl. I've come home for my dinner, not university challenge.
Ted Brownlow.
Oh, how is he?
Fine. You can see for yourself anyway, he's coming round.
When?
Tonight.
Tonight?
Got nothing else on, have you?
No, but tonight...
You know, you're going to have to tell him something, Elsie.
What are you on about?
That you might be thinking of going back with your husband.
Oh, for goodness sake, girl, will you leave it alone? Leave off about Alan and me.
I'm just saying you can't keep him dangling on the end of a string forever. It's not fair, is it? You want some toast?
Do you reckon this lot will keep us going? If I knew how long this wretched strike was going to last, I might be able to answer that.
Last line of defence. The economy can go to the dogs. Unemployment run riot, but keep the great British pub open at all costs.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, that's just come from the place down the road.
Right, Squire.
Well, who in their right minds is going to come in here and drink stuff they can drink at home, and probably cheaper too?
You'd be surprised.
I don't get it. I just don't, honestly.
That's because you're assuming that people come into a pub to drink.
What, don't they?
No, they come in to moan, to complain, to voice opinions they would never dare do at home.
Or at work.
Or at work.
Well, couldn't you have told me this earlier? I see. Yes, I suppose it is good news, but it would have been better news still half an hour ago.
Do you want me to try any more off licences, Mrs. Walker? That one in Bessie Street.
Strikes off, Fred.
Well, you might have told us.
Indeed. You don't think Miss Bradshaw could possibly have known, do you?
I wouldn't think so.
No, just my suspicious mind. Well, you'll all be happy to hear that was the brewery on the phone, and the strike is virtually over.
By Fred, you're setting up for a siege or what?
That was just to tide us over, Ray. We'll not be needing it now.
No, you'll not. They go back in the morning.
Yeah, Annie just told us, How do you know?
I bumped into one of the drivers just now.
It didn't occur to you to tell me.
You know, it slipped my mind. I did tell Reenie in the corner shop, though.
Suppose you consider yourself a wag, Ray, do you? What was it Rabbit Burns said? Oh, what some power the gift to gears to see ourselves as others see us.
Now, what have I said?
What are we gonna do?
I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna get rid of that smelly filth in my bath. If we were a bit thicker, you could bag it up and sell it for horse muck.
Hang on, we're not dead yet. How long will it take before the deliveries get back to normal, like?
Well, they have to have a meeting to make it official, like. That's at 2 o'clock.
Well, they won't be back until tomorrow then, will they?
Well, gentlemen, you're in luck.
Oh, now what you're on about?
While you've been torturing your guts on the dregs of Mrs. Walker's barrels, Stanley and me, with your interest at heart, have been brewing the best bevy this town has ever known, and it's 10p a pint cheaper than in here. The bar opens at Stanley's tonight. Don't be late. The first one's a Freeman's on the house. Better than a licence to print money, this.
You said it needed longer.
Did I? I don't remember.
Ted Brownlow? Elsie? Elsie Howard? Yes, I know you did. That's what I'm ringing about, exactly. Well, you see, tonight's a bit difficult. No, it isn't that I'm going out or anything. It's just that, well, I've got such a lot of things to get through, and well, tomorrow's as bad. You see, I'm...
All set?
More or less. Where's our Hilda?
She's in the Rovers.
What's she doing down there?
I sent her.
Hey?
Well, battles and won and lost up there, mate. Intelligence. She's our secret weapon in their camp, you see. Anytime she sees anyone getting down to their last half pint, she sends them down here. Got it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very nice, that, Stanley. How much do you want for it? I mean, it is a jumble sale, I take it.
Oh, we're a bit short on glasses.
You're not kidding, are you?
Stand back, form a queue, you'll all get saved.
Hey, come on, Yates. My mouth's like second-hand sandpaper here.
Right, dig in.
That.
The first one's on the house, after that it's strictly cash.
Last time I saw something like that, there was a ship stuck in it on canal.
Hey, it's a bit on cloudy side, isn't it?
It's not a flaming telescope, you're supposed to sup it, not look through it.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Pass, I suppose, if you're not too fussy.
If you don't like it, get down the street and do your supping down there.
What, I mean, night off? What's the point of trying to drown your sorrows in a pub with no ale? Well, hardly any.
Sorrows? What sorrows have you got to drown, then?
I should have drowned that nag in a 3:30 Doc, Len. I'd have had some money to buy a real pint, then.
You've gone down again, have you? It's getting to be a bit of an habit lately, isn't it?
Right, so I'll go and fill up the tank.
Right.
That is for the money, Stanley.
OK.
Hey, where's he off to now?
Flying horse, I shouldn't wonder. This lot of bit slops from pubs from a mile around, and they tell you they brewed it themselves.
We did. We got a bath full upstairs.
God, blimey.
You have?
A bath full.
You never got this out of your bath.
But what's wrong with it? It's clear.
Of course it's clear. It would be clear as an oxygen tent coming out of Oggy's bath. It's not been used in years.
Well, how did the strike meeting go?
Took them 10 minutes to decide to go back. Start again tomorrow.
And why couldn't they start work immediately?
Well, the machinery of industrial relations, Mrs. Walker, starts exceedingly slowly. Who won?
Who do you think won? Who always wins?
Not a very happy woman.
Not at the moment, no. Which is more than I can say for you.
Oh, do go on.
Well, nothing more to say, really, except that since you got back, you've been looking as if life was meant for living. How was Alan?
You know you're as bad as them girls. You know that?
You've not answered my question.
He was fine, actually. We had a few laughs together.
So there might be some truth in what I've heard.
It depends on what you've heard.
Well, that there could be a chink of light at the end of the tunnel. Look, Elsie, I know I'm hardly the one to offer advice with my track record.
But
if you do get together, I'd be delighted for both of you.
Scotch, Mr. Baldwin.
Just a small one, have you? You know, I don't know why you don't start making your own, Mrs. Walker. You'd be independent of the brewery's in. They could have as many strikes as they liked.
Until the excise people catch up with you, know, thank you very much. They can pop up any time, you know. I have served them in this very bar without having so much as an inkling.
Oh. You mean they can just drop in and do you for it, making your own?
They can indeed.
And they're always on the lookout, even round here.
They are.
Fancy.
Put it down.
It's from Newcastle.
I can read.
But what do you reckon?
How should I know? And staring at it's not going to do any good. Oh, come on, it's not getting them pots washed. Hello?
What's with you two? What are you staring at? Has my hair suddenly gone green or something?
There's a letter for you.
All right, so there is. So now what?
Nothing.
Well, get on with the washing up then.
Oh, Here, Stan.
Hello, Chuck.
Come out here, I want a word.
Hey, come and have a drink, Mrs.
Oh,
O.
put some hairs on your chest.
I thought you got some.
I don't want a drink, I've got something to tell you. It's
You don't know what
important.
you're missing.
Go on, no, it's like black velvet.
Stanley, will you
It's not
listen
strong,
to me?
darling, really.
Yeah, but it's made in his flipping back.
That's what gives it the
Stan.
distinctive flavour.
I'll
Fred.
pour you one out, love. Hang on.
Oh, what's that flipping news?
Yeah, Stanley, I'll have another one.
all
Fill
right.
your boots, mate. There's plenty more where this come from.
Where that came from? Hey, you want to patent this, Stanley?
What's the secret?
You mean apart from the iron filings?
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes, get away.
It's true.
I don't reckon that lot was as strong as what the last lot was.
I'll go and get some more from the
Ah,
bottom
go
of the
on.
tank. It should be fair attack.
You're wasting your time with that.
You what?
You heard. And it's a good job somebody round here's still got the wits about them.
What are you talking about, Mrs. O?
Customs and exercise, that's what. I've just heard Annie Walker telling about them in the Rovers and what they can do to folk what brew their own ale.
You can't get done for brewing your own ale now. You know, everybody's doing it. It's a big business.
Now, if you sell it,
Which we're not.
Am we?
Of course we're not. We're just having a friendly drink with a few mates. I mean, if they want to make a contribution to the Chase Development Fund, well, who are we to stop them? I mean, we're not exactly selling it.
You mean it's not illegal?
No way.
All right.
Now what's up?
Well, you should have listened to me before. That's what I wanted to tell you about the customs and exercise, but you wouldn't take no notice.
Well, don't worry, love. There's no harm done.
Ah, but there is. See, I was scared of somebody coming round, so I went and pulled the plug out the back.
Oh, that lovely ale.
And just as I was getting a taste for it.
Dear Elsie, I'm so glad you bothered to look me up when you were up here. It was great to see you again. I wouldn't have thought that, well, after what has happened over recent months, we'd have gone on so well. When you left, I felt that as far as you were concerned, the door on our marriage might not be finally closed. I've not written before because I wanted time to think, as I'm sure you must have done. Now that I've had time to sort my thoughts out, I had to write to let you know my feelings. While we obviously still do have a faint spark for each other, I feel there's no way that we could get together and patch up our marriage. What I'm saying is that, in spite of how much we enjoyed last week, I think we ought to go ahead with the plans for a divorce, so that we're both free to marry again. We can make the necessary arrangements through solicitors when the time comes. I'm sorry it's got to end this way, but I'm sure it'll be best for both of us. All the best for the future. Alan.
Wakey. Brought you a cup of tea.
Thank you. Hey, what time is it?
10 o'clock. Did I wake you up?
Yeah.
Well, you have just missed a lovely Sunday morning. At least first 3 hours were truly wonderful. Blue skies, warm breezes, cheeky paper lad.
Oh, isn't it wonderful to have a lie-in when you usually have to get up early? Oh, do you know, I really enjoy it. Because I never got a lie-in at my Aunt Edie's. There was always some reason why I had to be up and doing.
Hey, this ain't going to be a common occurrence, Riley, so don't think it is. If I decide to do Sunday papers every once in a while, make the most of it, but don't bank on it.
I won't, Rita. I'm very appreciative, really, I am.
Oh, go on, drink your tea and crawl back to bed.
Oh, no, I mustn't, because Derek's coming round.
He's never. You're not trying to tell me his mother's let him out on a Sunday.
Well, he's not tied to her apron strings, Rita.
Well, that could have fooled me. Any road, so he's coming. Have you got your plans laid? Are you going to get him to take you somewhere nice, I hope?
Well, I don't mind, really. just as soon spend the day here.
Oh, that wouldn't suit me. I'd rather be out enjoying myself.
Well, it wouldn't do for us all to be the same.
True. So I won't badger you, Mavis. You do what you want. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, I intend to. That's the best part.
Best thing you ever did leaving your Aunt Edie. Because I don't suppose you can invite Derek round there for a snogging session.
Oh, Pete.
Oh, go on. Get lad a treat.
Morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful morning, Fred.
Morning, Mrs. Walker.
Doesn't this room look dreadful? You know, first thing in the morning, I'm going to ring up the brewery. Sooner the decorators come and finish this job, the better.
I'm sure you will.
Da-dum-ba-da-dee-da-dum-pum. La-dee-da-dee-dee-da-da-da. Fred?
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Doesn't matter. Has Elizabeth arrived yet?
She's been here a good half hour, Mrs. Walker. She's just popped round the corner shop. Are we going to flog them cans of beer back to Rennie Bradshaw, Mrs. Walker? You know, she pulled a fast on us there, did Rennie? She knew that strike was over when she flogged us those cans.
Yes, of course she did. I wouldn't demean myself. Let her live with her conscience, if she has one.
Hiya. Darren forgot your paper.
Oh, thanks very much.
First up, are you? Them two still lying in bed?
No, as a matter of fact, they were up very early this morning for a change. Took a shower trip to Blackpool.
Blackpool? Well, they've got right idea. It's nice to be kicking your heels round here.
That's true enough.
I take it you didn't want to go. Why didn't they ask you?
As a matter of fact, they did. And they asked me very politely, too, and I said no just as politely. Can you imagine it? Me traipsing down the prom with them two, playing goose-gog, cramping the style.
Elsie, you surprise me. I never thought I'd hear you say something as true as that about yourself.
Oh, well, they say if you live long enough, you hear everything, don't they?
So what are you going to do with your Sunday?
Not a lot.
Oh. Well, I'll leave you to get on with it then. See ya.
La 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 la.
Fred, what a voice, honestly. Thank you, Dick.
The sunshine is beautiful out there.
Have you lost something, Mrs. Walker? Beg your pardon? I was just saying, have you lost something?
What I'm looking for wasn't lost, I'm afraid.
I'm not with it, you.
Hey, when you're ready, I'll have another rum.
You're lashing out a bit, aren't you, Albert?
I'm paying. My money's as good as anybody else's, isn't it?
All right, don't get naughty. I'm just wondering why you're feeling so flush, that's all.
Well, I've got a bit of profit left from selling me ale ration when strike were on them now. You know, to them two fellows just couldn't do without the beer. Hey, beer. When I were a lad, if you'd called the stuff you sell beer, you'd have been prosecuted. It were beer then. You could wind it round a stick. Now it's that thing, you couldn't shove it up a pipe.
Don't go on about it, Albert. I'm just getting over supping that rubbish of Oggy's.
Say out, Terry, lovey. No, paid follow. Yeah. Elizabeth, can I have a quiet word?
Yes, sure, what's up?
Now, naturally, what I'm going to say to you is in the strictest confidence, and anything you say to me will go no further. It's about Fred.
But what about him, Mrs. Walker?
Well, I thought I overheard some gossip in the bar the other night about him betting. Now, does he bet on horses?
He has a little bet.
Is it true that he's had some heavy losses lately?
Well, I can't say as I've paid all that much attention to him, Mrs. Walker. I mean, it's none of my business,
No,
really.
but it might be my business, mightn't it, as his employer? Are these rumours correct about heavy losses?
Well, I'm sure I don't know, Mrs. Walker.
You know, Elizabeth, sometimes loyalty can be misplaced. Quite misplaced.
Yes.
Hello, David.
Hello. I'm not late, am I?
No, not at all.
Only it took me longer than I expected getting here from Ormskirk. It's usually quite a fast run on a Sunday. Only they're doing some roadworks the way I usually come, so I had to make a detour. Anyway, well, it's very nice to see you.
It's nice to see you, Derek. Thank you. How's your mother keeping?
Oh, she's fine.
Good.
Got to be careful, though, you know. Got to look after herself. How's your Aunt Edie keeping?
Oh, she's all right. I haven't been round for a week or two.
Well, why should you? You do quite enough, Mavis.
Well, lunch will be ready any minute.
Oh, good. What are we having?
Oh, it's nothing very special. It's just avocado pear starter, and then I've done a roast shoulder of lamb.
Sounds very special to me, Mavis. Sounds lovely.
You do like roast lamb, don't you?
I'm very fond of it. We usually have it for Sunday lunch, Mother and me. Of course, with me not being there today, she's not having it. No. She's having a chop.
Oh.
Is there anything I can do?
No, I think everything's taken care of. Oh, well, unless you'd like to put the cutlery out now. I'll serve.
Right. It's this drawer, isn't it?
No.
No, it's not. It's, here. You know, Mavis, this is very nice.
But the flat, you mean?
Yes, but I don't only mean that. I mean, being able to get away from it all. You like living here, don't you?
Oh, it's the nicest place I've ever lived in. It's the first place that's ever felt like my own home.
Well, now that you've got this place, we can do things. I mean, you know, like nice meals and so on.
Yes, well, I'll just have a look at the lamb.
Yes.
Can I have your glasses, please? Anybody think you got no houses to go to and no dinners?
I suppose I better get back, otherwise she'll send a search party out for me.
Yeah, come on, Chuck. That stew only wants warming up when we get home.
Oh, well, I don't feel very hungry, you know.
What's this, Stanley Office food? You know what it is, don't you? It's that home-brewed sludge you've been dishing out.
It is, Hank. I think we had a bad pint here. They can't keep me here properly.
Come on, Chuck. Oh.
See you, mate.
Darling. Mrs. Walker, it's quite obvious to me that you're looking for something. I mean, you have since we opened.
Rather longer than that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, I mean, the suspense is killing me. If you'll just tell me what it is, I'll help you look for it.
£45 in notes, actually.
Pardon?
£45 is missing from last night's takings, Elizabeth.
£45?
Keep your voice down. I don't want it made public. Now, will you see everybody off the premises and lock up, please?
But it must be somewhere, Mrs. Walker.
I haven't mislaid the money, Elizabeth. I wish I had. It's been stolen.
Yeah, love.
I haven't 3 ounce flour, so I can't take it off you right now. Hang on to it for me for a minute.
You remember that picture, Never on Sundays? That was about washing, wasn't it? Or have I got it wrong?
You got it wrong. Wasn't washing you were taking it.
See what they got me doing now, Elsie, love. They did warn me about it, you know, but I didn't listen.
Taking a notice. He likes it, really. When he's finished doing this, he's going donkey stone front step.
That'll be nice.
What's up with her?
I don't know. Bit down, I suppose.
More than a bit.
She like that when I called in this morning. Dead depressed. But don't ask me what it's all about. She don't confide in me. She's your old flame, not mine.
Will you both come through, please? Yes, Mrs. Walker. You fiddle out the front, Elizabeth.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Do sit down.
Betty tells me you've lost some money, Mrs. Walker.
Not lost it, Fred. Missing.
Missing? How do you mean, missing?
Well, last night, after we'd closed the bar, I checked the takings. I put the usual money in the till for today's float, and then the remainder, £45 in notes, I put in a safe place. Well, rather what I thought was a safe place in here. This morning, it was gone.
Well, you must have been burgled.
There is no trace of anyone having entered the premises. The door was locked when you came this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
No sign of anyone making a forcible entry. I heard nothing. I'm a light sleeper. Did you hear anything, Fred?
I didn't, Mrs. Walker. Look, when you say you put it in a safe place, I mean...
Do you mean that sewing basket?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Well, I never thought that was a safe place to put money, Mrs. Walker, if you don't mind me saying so.
No, I mean neither. Still, I suppose folk put money in all sorts of daft places. And you don't think they're daft until you've been robbed.
Hey, wait a minute, Betty. You don't think for 1 minute that...
Oh, of course she doesn't. No.
Now, please, both of you. I have always tried here at the Rovers to maintain mutual trust between myself and my staff.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Somebody must have took it. Oh, yes. That is one thing we can be quite sure of. Somebody is responsible.
Well, that was a beautiful meal, Mavis. You know, you're a real artist in the kitchen.
Well, it's nice to have somebody to cook for who appreciates it.
Well, what would you like to do now?
Well, I don't mind, really.
It's entirely up to you. We can go out if you like.
Oh, yes, that would be nice.
We don't have to. I mean, you know, if you'd sooner stop in, that's fine with me.
Honestly, I don't mind, Derek.
Well, all right. You just name it. We'll do whatever you want to do.
Well, what would you like to do?
Oh, I'll be quite happy whatever we do. As long as it's what you fancy doing. That'll be Mother.
Your mother?
Yes, well, I gave her the number, you know, just in case.
Hello. Oh, hello, Mrs. Tweedale. It's not... oh. Oh, when? No, I didn't know. Oh. No, you did right, Mrs. Tweedale. Pardon? Oh, yes. Yes, well, thank you, Mrs. Tweedale.
Something wrong?
Yes, it's about me Auntie Edith. That was the next-door neighbour on the phone.
Something's happened, hasn't it?
Well, she's had some sort of an attack. Well, apparently she's all right now, but Mrs. Tweedale, that was the neighbour. She said that somebody ought to be with her. Me, she meant.
You've done quite enough of that already, Mavis.
Yes, but I mean, if she's really ill... oh, I knew it was too good to last.
Isn't there someone else who can help? I mean, what about this neighbour?
Oh, no, she's got enough on her plate already. I mean, she's very good, but... well, she said somebody ought to be there with me, Auntie Edie. I don't want to go back, Derek. I mean, you've no idea what it's like being at a beck and call all the time and having no proper life of your own. But if I go back now, I know I'll never get away again.
Come on, don't be upset about it, Mavis. Has she no children, your Auntie Edie?
No, there's just me and another niece, my cousin Ethel.
Well, what about her? Can't she do her share?
Well, she never has done, but I mean, she could do. Because she's much better placed than I am. She's got her own house, and she's not very far from here. She doesn't work. Well, if she'd only help with me, Auntie Edie, I wouldn't mind.
I think you ought to go and have a talk with her. Why don't you? Work something out. I think you ought to, Mavis. Come on, I'll drive you over there. Come on. There's nothing lost, is there?
I just came to ask if you'd like a stroll down to the park. Me and Rita are going down. There's a band playing there today. Well, when you got there and you've had to walk round, the pubs are open again. We just wondered if you'd like to join us.
That's very nice of you both, but thank you very much, no.
Something wrong, isn't there? Look, if I'm sticking my nose in, just say so. But if not, why didn't you talk about it with your Uncle Len?
Talk about what?
Oh, come on, you know damn well there's something wrong. You got a face like a sick dog.
Thank you very much indeed.
Rita noticed as well.
Oh, did she? Alan, need I say more?
I thought you and him were making good music again.
I told you. When I went to Newcastle, we had a few laughs. Brought back a few memories. Made me realise what we used to feel for each other. And I suddenly realised deep down that those feelings were still there. Not dead like I thought.
But when you came back from Newcastle, you were pretty chirpy, weren't you?
Yeah, don't ask me why, I don't know. Perhaps I thought, maybe, just maybe, I couldn't tell you what I wanted. Anyway, I've had a letter from Alan. He wants a divorce to get married again.
Oh. So that's that then.
So that's that then. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not broken-hearted about Alan. It's just, well, it's another slap in the face, isn't it?
Oh, it's the end of a chapter, yeah. Could be the start of another one, though. I thought you were pally with that fellow, what's his name? Ted Brownlow.
Oh, just pally, nothing more. As a matter of fact, I gave him the push. Oh, no. You really want to know what's getting me down? It's just thinking what a flaming mess I made of my life. And now you're spoken for, I can't even have a good cry on your shoulders.
Now, you tell me anybody who hasn't made a mess of their life at some time.
Yeah, some more than others, and me more than most.
And me and all. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say I've been very clever about my past life, have I? Now, Rita and me...
Oh, yes, you've been very lucky, both of you.
Well, maybe that's it. Perhaps your bit of luck is just round the next corner.
Yeah. Just waiting to trip me up.
I mean, I'd love to have Auntie Edie, Mavis, you know that. Just don't think it'd be fair to her.
Well, I still don't see why. I mean, you've got 3 bedrooms. It's not as if you're short of room.
There's plenty of room. That's not the point. I just don't think it's right to treat old people as though they were sacks of coal.
Oh, I'm not asking it.
I mean, you know as well as I do, Auntie Edie wants to stay in her own place. She's old. She hasn't got long. I mean, you can understand it.
Well, I know she's set in her ways. I know that better than anybody, but...
We're all going to be like that someday, Mavis. You have to be a bit patient, a bit compassionate.
I do know that, but... Well, if Auntie Edie wants to stay in her own home, I don't see why I've got to be the one that moves in with her.
Well, I can't move in with her. I'd have to sell this house. It's the only bit of security I've got. Well, I do think you're being a bit self-centred, Mavis.
Well, but I've only just got this flat. It's the only place I've ever had.
Well, it's only a rented flat, isn't it? I mean, if you go back with Auntie, think of all the rent you'll be saving. And if I had to sell this house, what had happened to the doggies? Well, I know they're as good as gold. But the last thing Auntie wants round her, she's allergic.
Oh, well, it's just that I thought... Well, I've looked after her for years, Ethel. I really don't see why I should do it all.
I don't think I've dodged my share. Let's face it, Mavis. She took you in. She gave you a good home all those years. And you chose to walk out. And now she's ill. Well, I don't think you can dodge your responsibilities.
You all right, Mavis?
No, it's not all right. I've got to be the mug again.
Mind you won't find any better produce than what I grow on my allotment, you know.
He's right, you know. He's a dab hand with his veg.
What about it?
Mr. Tatlock, I've had a very weary day, and I'm not up to riddles at the end of it. What is it you're asking?
I'm not asking. I'm offering my market produce. Mind you, I want a good price.
Hey, what makes you so sure she wants to buy it?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Look, I'm doing you a favour, woman. You won't find any better fresh vegetables anywhere round here.
Tell you what.
What?
You bring them in, and if they're what they say you are, all right. All right, I dare say they will be anyway. Go on, I'll buy them.
How much?
Hey, market price, wholesale. Can't pay more than market price.
Look, I could go selling them from door to door and get the full retail price.
Go on then, off you go. Traipse around with a basket on your head. Or a donkey and cart. Better still, buy yourself a little van. Market price, is it a deal?
Got no choice, have I?
Hello. You look a bit happier than you were.
Do you know, I just fancied a drink, Betty. Fancy half yourself?
Oh, no. No, I fancy a nice cup of tea. I think while we're quiet, I'll just nip through to the living room and put the kettle on.
Aye, all right.
Fred?
What?
Only got a minute.
What's to do, Betty?
Living room door, locked.
Locked. It's never been locked. Must be just stuck.
Have you got a key?
No, I've never had a key. There's never been need to have a key. It's never been locked before.
It's locked now.
Hey, it'll be that missing money. That's why she's locked it.
You know what this means, don't you, Fred? She's been giving me funny looks all morning. I mean, she knows I've been a bit short of cash just lately, and that I've been having a bit of trouble paying me bills.
Who hasn't?
I mean, she was only asking me this morning, you know, before she mentioned about the money being gone. She was asking me if you'd had any heavy losses on the horses.
She what?
Yeah, and now this locked us off from the house. Well, you know what it means, don't you? She thinks it's one of us that spends her rotten money. You or me.
Hello, elder love. Shall I give you a hand?
Oh, thanks very much, lad.
There you go.
Awkward blooming things, tandems, aren't they? My shins is black and blue from banging them on the pedals.
Where have you been keeping this? I thought you'd got shut.
By the front room. I mean, we've nowhere else, have we? It go rusty standing in the backyard.
You're giving it an airing then, are you?
Yeah, this afternoon, as a matter of fact. Well, it's such a nice day, isn't it? Bit of a blow will do us both good.
You're never going for a spin.
Yeah.
You and Stanley?
Yeah. We're not past it, you know.
Hello, Stanley. Hard work, was it?
Oh, you can say that again. I'm going to get a motor for... What have you got that out for?
Well, I thought we'd go take the afternoon off and go for a ride, Stan, have a picnic, you know.
You're flaming bonkers.
He's a man of few words, you're Stanley, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, it's just as well. He's going to need all his puff for turning them pedals round.
Fred?
What?
Where's the float?
She hasn't put it in yet.
No. What time is it, Lil?
Coming up to 11.
Well, she always puts it in before this time. She never misses.
Maybe just forgotten.
Something else, isn't it?
What?
This is no float. It's like her locking us out of the living room. I mean, she don't trust us in there anymore. She don't even trust us with the till now. She definitely thinks that it's one of us that's pinched her 45 quid.
Oh, rubbish.
All right. You ask her about the float.
You ask her.
Hello, Mrs. Tappan. I didn't know you'd arrived.
Oh, I've been here quite a bit.
One thing one can never question, your punctuality.
No. Go on, ask her about the float.
You ask her.
Mrs. Walker, you haven't put a float in this morning.
Haven't I?
No.
Oh, well, I'll be back long before you need it. I'm only going into Rosamond Street.
Yeah.
I'll be back long before opening time.
Good.
Yeah, you see, I told you. She just forgot it.
Yeah. She thinks one of us has pinched her money.
Oh, rubbish, Betty.
Oh, it did frighten me, Rita.
I have been shouting my head off. Do you know how long you've been up here? Nearly an hour.
Well, you said I could have some time off to do some cleaning.
You could have cleaned our ballroom in that time.
Well, I wanted to make a proper job of it. I'm coming now.
Don't you mean you've been thinking about your Auntie Edie?
Oh, what am I going to do, Rita?
Well, why don't you put her in an old folks' home? Some of them are very nice.
No, she'd never go. She's not the sort.
Well, park her with your cousin Ethel. At least you'll be with family.
I've told you she won't have her.
Well, she'd have no choice if you stuck her in Len's van and dumped her on her doorstep.
You can be hard, Rita.
Oh, hard nothing. You like living here, don't you?
Yes, you know I do.
So, it's your independence we're talking about. Your freedom. Something you never had when you lived with your Auntie Edie.
Yes, but if she's really ill...
Oh, Mavis, for goodness sake, stand up for yourself. Start living your life for a change. Your Auntie Edie's had hers.
Wish I knew what to do.
Hey, I'll take a look at that, Chuck. Showroom condition, eh? Like new. Where do you think you're going?
Bob, where do you think?
Well, don't be long. I want you back here and changed by 2 o'clock.
Don't be thick, Hilda. I'm not going on that. For one thing, I'm past it. And the second thing, it's a death trap.
Oh, come on, Stan. We managed all right before.
Aye, only at the station.
Well, we'll not go far, just into the country a bit.
I'll be a sports Stan. I need a change.
No.
Well, just as a favour to me, then. Now, I don't ask many, do I? I'm easily pleased. I'm not a lot of trouble.
You're wheedling, Hilda.
Oh, please, Chuck.
No.
You should see the sight of you from behind. If you ask me, you should be riding in a 6-day bicycle race, not a few miles on a tandem. Get some of the fat off you.
What's the matter, Hilda? Having a bit of husband trouble?
Only with the one, Mrs. Howard.
Yes, for that.
Yeah, it's what's called leading with the jaw. Can I have my bread, please? Oh, and a packet of that ham. I just fancy a nice ham salad for my dinner.
Do you know she's been cleaning that flipping machine all morning out there? You know she keeps it, don't you? Only in the parlour.
Oh, that's now. My dad used to keep his motorbike in the front room.
Good heavens, it must have ruined your wall-to-wall Axminster.
Axminster oilcloth, you mean, don't you?
Hey, we're posh. We used to have flag floors.
Flag floors? You're too young to remember them. Never mind, have them.
Thanks very much. Do you know you're the second person today that's told me how young I look?
Oh, yeah, and I bet the first one was a rep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet you doubled your order, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He meant it?
Of course they did. Put that on my bill, will you?
How's that divorce of yours coming along?
Oh, slow but sure. Went to the solicitors this morning to sign some papers.
You go through husbands like cenopods, you, don't you? And here's me, still single. It's not right, you know.
Well, think of the money you'll save.
Oh, yeah. But for how long? I have to go to Lancaster, you know, next week to look after my mother, and I still haven't got anybody to look after at shop. You don't fancy moonlighting, do you?
No, I thought Betty Turpin was doing that for you.
No prizes for guessing who kibosh that lot.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There you are, then. Tells me you found Mrs. Walker. Had to use some of my own money for change. Is that right, Fred?
Ah, that's right.
There you are, then. 250p. Thank you. Sorry I'm back late for myself. Sorry, fiddlesticks.
Now, Betsy, I'm telling you, you're letting your imagination run away with you, you are.
Oh, shut up, Fred.
That's it.
Hey, what's going on?
Now it's up.
Now, don't come that way, me. Betty Turpin's had a face like a rusty bucket ever since I come in. Annie Walker's got that usual depressed expression of hers, and you look henpecked.
You notice a lot, don't you?
Well, what do you do at my age? I mean, you've got plenty of time for noticing things. You know what I noticed this morning?
Go on, surprise me, Albert.
Well, you know Jim Fowler that lives in Havelock Street?
Yeah, I know, and where's a lot of Agri? Slim fella, fancies himself.
That's the chap. Well, I saw him dashing into the laundrette carrying a big suitcase this morning in his right hand.
So?
Well, I happen to know that he's got a withered right arm because he had it caught in a carding frame at Fairbrothers about a couple of years since.
So?
Well, that suitcase must have been empty. Otherwise, he couldn't have carried it in his right arm.
Albert, what are you getting at?
Well, he weren't dashing into that laundrette to do any washing, you know. That suitcase was a bit of codology. No, what he were after was a bit of hanky-panky with her what runs it in a dinner hour.
Albert, you want locking up. You're a public danger, you are, you know.
Well, I told you I noticed things.
Look at that. There you are. It's very full.
Hey, where's Stanley?
He's been and gone, love you, and had a pint.
Oh, I'll bet he's gone down the Legion to get out the road. I'll murder him if he doesn't come back in time.
Hilda?
Yeah?
You know when you cleaned in here this morning, did you do the living room?
No, I couldn't. Door were locked.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, I thought to myself, that's unusual, I thought. Still, if I can't get in, I can't clean it. No skin off my nose.
Ask her why.
Why?
Ask Mrs. Walker why the door was locked.
Why?
Well, ask her why.
Oh, all right, if you like. Mrs. Walker?
Yes, Miss Ogden.
Oh, it's just that I couldn't get in to do the living room this morning. The door were locked, you see, and I wondered why. You've not got the crown jewels locked up in there, have you?
I've had an unfortunate experience, Mrs. Ogden.
Oh, yeah? What?
Some money has disappeared, 40-odd pounds to be exact.
Oh, dear. Where's it been pinched from?
She didn't say it had been pinched, it just disappeared. It disappeared from my living room, from my sewing box, actually.
What were it doing in there?
Yes, you might well ask.
Oh, what a daft place to keep money.
Well, daft or not, Mrs. Ogden, the money has disappeared. And that is why I'm keeping my living room locked, so that it can't happen again.
Oh, well, it's obvious, isn't it?
What is?
You're all under suspicion, playing as a Pikestaff.
So are you, don't forget.
When did the money go?
Sunday morning.
Ah, well, I don't come in Sundays, do I? So I'm like Caesar Romero's wife, fireproof.
Hey, what were all that about?
Well, I've just narrowed it down, Fred, that's all. It's definitely between me and you.
Fred.
What?
I take back what I said. She hasn't got a face like a rusty bucket. It's like two rusty buckets.
Shut up, Albert.
Well, Rita thinks I should make a stand.
Yeah.
What do you think I should do, Derek?
Oh, I agree with Rita. You shouldn't go back to your Aunt Edie, not in any circumstances. Well, you're so unfettered here, aren't you?
Unfettered? Yes, I suppose I am. Well, for example, you're sitting here, aren't you? Well, you wouldn't be sitting there at me Auntie Edie's. She thinks men bring germs into the house on their shoes.
That's a disease, you know. There's a word for it.
Yes, me Auntie Edie.
You made a joke, Mavis.
Yes, I suppose I did.
You know, I think you are naturally witty. You're very quick with words.
Thank you. I shall go back, you know, Derek.
Now, don't be silly.
Oh, I will. I know I will. All my good resolutions will just crumble. I know
You have
that.
to be strong,
Yes,
Mavis.
well, I'm not strong. Could you do it?
Of course I could.
Could you just leave your mother to her own devices if she were ill?
Oh, well, now, that's different, isn't it? I mean, my mother's my mother.
Yes.
Anyway, what about this cousin of yours? She should accept her share of the responsibility. Really, she should.
Oh, she just won't. She refuses point blank.
Well, it's not very fair.
She's not a very fair person.
She sounds very selfish.
Yeah, she is.
Mavis, would you like me to have a word with her?
Who?
Cousin Ethel.
Well, do you think it would do any good?
Yes, of course it will.
Well, yes, if you'd like to.
I would.
Well, she can be very forthright.
No matter.
Well, you know where she lives. She should be in about this time.
Well, I think I ought to give her a ring first. You know, fix an appointment rather than just go round. Makes it more official. And it gives me a psychological advantage.
Does it?
Certainly it does. She'll be worrying why I'm coming, you see.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Oh, that's what men are for, Mavis. Clear, incisive thinking.
Really? Well, Ethel's phone number's on the pad.
Right. Just leave this to me, Mavis.
Yes, Derek.
Oh, Miss Platt? My name's Derek Wilton. And... Derek Wilton. Wilton! As in carpet. Listen, I'm a friend of Mavis's, and... Mavis! Riley! Well, I've known her some time, but I don't see what that... What do you mean, am I a married man? No, yes, I know. Listen, Miss Platt. She's coming round. I'm sorry, Cousin Ethel rather outmaneuvered me, Mavis. I should have been more firm with her.
Well, you did your best, Derek.
I'll be very firm when she comes, though, believe you me. Now, Mavis,
yes.
Don't forget, leave her to me.
Oh, yes. Oh, hello, Ethel.
That woman in the shop sent me up. She's got a frosty face, hasn't she?
Well, no, she has a very pleasant personality.
Oh, really? You could have fooled me. So this is it? Pokey, isn't it?
Well, it's quite adequate for one person.
Oh, he doesn't live here then?
No, he doesn't. Derek, this is my cousin Ethel.
How do you do?
Hope you're going to be more civil to me than you were on the phone. What's through there?
Well, that's the bedroom and that's the bathroom and toilet.
Oh, I don't know how you can live in the same room you do your cooking in. I know I couldn't. Now, that's one good thing about Auntie Edie's house. There's plenty of room. She's more than you can say for this place. Very pokey.
It depends, doesn't it, Miss Platt?
Pardon?
I said it depends.
What depends? I don't know what you're talking about.
It depends if you're civil to me, whether I'm civil to you.
I've not come here to fall out, you know. I don't think there's anything to fall out about.
Well, you would say that. You're getting your own way, aren't you?
My own way? Now you're talking as if there's some sort of an argument, as if there were 2 points of view.
Well, there is.
There's not, you know.
Well, of course there is. I mean, the argument is which one of us is going to look after Auntie Edie.
And it's as much your duty as it is Mavis's. You can't get away from that.
Oh? How'd you make that out?
Well, You're both relations, similarly placed.
We're not, you know.
But of course you are. In fact, you're probably better placed.
Has she a place of her own to look after?
She has this flat.
Has she or has she not lived under Auntie Edie's roof for years?
Yes, but that doesn't mean she has obligations.
No obligations. And she's lived rent-free for years. Dear, oh dear. What sort of a person are you, Mr. Wilton?
Well, she's done the cooking, the cleaning.
Has she any dependents?
Neither of you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I see. So you're an animal hater as well, are you, Mr. Wilton?
Well, no, of course I'm not.
Oh, but you must be. Because you know what'll happen to my 2 little doggies if I have to move in with Auntie Edie. They'll have to be destroyed. That's what'll happen.
Why? You could take them with you.
Because Auntie Edie is allergic to dogs. That's right, isn't it, Mavis?
So she says.
So as well as asking me to leave my little house to rack and ruin, as well as asking me to be party to Mavis throwing all Auntie Edie's kindness back in her face, which you'll regret, you're also asking me to sentence 2 little innocent animals to death. Do you want that on your conscience, Mr. Wilton? Do you? What about a nice cup of tea, Mavis?
Look, why don't you do a week, and then Mavis a week? That'd be fair.
I don't think the doctor would be willing to agree to that, Mr. Wilton. You see, he said Auntie Edie must feel secure, wanted. All that chopping and changing, you know, it might kill her. Now, don't make the tea too strong, Mavis. And what do you do for a living, Mr. Wilton?
I'm a representative for an office equipment firm.
Really? I'm surprised you have such a responsible job.
Yeah, it's time it had an end. That's the trouble with marriage. It's like meat. When it goes off, there's nothing you can do with it.
I always had such high hopes for you and Alan, you know.
What? Because you and him were mates?
Well, that was part of it, yeah. But I thought you were both so suited to each other, you know. You were both special as people.
Yeah, probably too much alike. That was the main trouble. Both too proud and arrogant. Neither would give way. You know, there's always got to be a loser in a marriage.
I can't go along with that.
Well, it's true. So just you watch it, mate.
Oh, Len, love, get us a drink quick. I have had a lousy morning.
Give us a vodka and tonic, will you, Betty, please?
In a minute.
You know, they ought to give you a sitting down job at your age.
Oh, like you. No, it's that Mavis. She's driving everybody mad, wondering whether she'd go back to Auntie Edie's or not.
Well, she's daft as she does.
I know that. I even think she knows that. But she's been lumbered with a thing called a conscience.
Oh, that's terrible.
Rotten. Well, you keep stirring her.
You're very much alike, you two, aren't you?
Rubbish. Just because we've got you in common.
Had love. Had in common.
Hey, Betty.
What's up?
Key.
I can see it's a key. What's it a key for?
Living room.
She just give it, hadn't she?
Just give me it this minute.
What'd she say?
Well, she said, being as you live here, you need a key, and I do, so you can't get away from that, do you?
Oh, I'm going to have it out with her. I mean, we can't go on like this. I'm going to have it out with her.
Betty.
Hey, what's happened to the service in here? I ordered a vodka and tonic about half an hour ago.
All right, then. Keep you there, honey.
Come in. Oh, yes, Mrs. Taylor. I'd like a word, if you don't mind.
Mind? Now, why should I mind? You know, I'm always available to members of my staff, as a good employer should be.
Yes. Well, it's about this missing money. I'd like to say something, if you don't mind.
At last.
Oh?
Elizabeth, you don't know how I've longed for this moment to happen, prayed for it.
Pardon? One moment.
Look, dear, only last week, one of our lady victuallers found herself in precisely the same situation. A momentary lapse in the costume jewellery department at Baxter's. Fortunately, she wasn't prosecuted. But you see, dear, it is becoming so common among ladies of a certain age, and there's nothing you can do about it. Stress, change of life, they're all factors.
What's this got to do with me, Mrs. Walker?
And it's natural that you should be angry. With life, with yourself. I mean, a perfectly respectable person like you.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about, Mrs. Walker. I just came in here to ask you why you've locked me out of the living room.
Pardon?
Look, you heard. Why are you keeping me out of here, and only me?
Look, dear, do you think that a doctor would help? or perhaps a psychiatrist. Now, I believe Nellie Harvey went to one for obvious reasons, of course.
Would you answer me, please, Mrs. Walker?
What about a cup of tea? I'm quite sure that Fred can manage on his own for the time being. We'll have a little talk about it, shall we?
I would like an answer, please, Mrs. Walker.
Of course you would, dear.
Oh, make less noise. Hey! What are you doing with that car?
I'm driving it, aren't I?
Why?
Borrowed it from Fisher at the Legion.
Why?
Well, you said you wanted a day out, didn't you?
Well, I do.
Well, get in.
Well, what about the tandem?
Oh, blow the tandem. Get in.
Well, hang on. I'll put us some sounds
Oh,
on.
look, that's some tea out.
Ah, stop.
Hey, come on, get in before I change my mind.
All right.
I'll go and see that cousin Ethel. I'll thump her for you if you like, because I didn't take to her at all.
There's no point. There's only one person going to look after me, Auntie Edie, and that's me, Muggins.
Well, that's what you will be if you go.
Did you ever think I wouldn't go?
No.
Neither did I.
Hey, Mavis. Mavis.
Oh, we're born with it, you know, our personality. It's like a birthmark inside you. There's nothing you can do about it.
I thought Derek were going to sort her out.
Well, he did his best. He was quite firm for a time, but, well, he's like me. Peas in a pod.
Supposing I stop you, physically if necessary.
What do you mean? Put a collar on me and chain me up?
Well, something like that, yeah.
But the whole point of being here was that I was, what did Derek call it? Unfettered. Unfettered.
Right, try, Fred.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm going home, and I am not coming back. I'm not stopping here to be called a thief.
I tried to meet her halfway, Fred. More than halfway.
Did you?
Yes, really. Poor Elizabeth.
More from the street at the same time tomorrow on Plus. And will Annie and Betty make it up? Next this Wednesday evening, quick-fire comedy from the comedians. That's in just a moment.